What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Pack a Pod, a Call of Duty Zombies podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just a few days away from the launch of Black Ops 7 Zombies. We cannot wait. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. We wanted to get an episode out before the official game released so we could put out some stuff we've recorded prior, and then we also wanted to talk about some of the news leading into it. And I think at the very end of this intro segment, we'll give our predictions on the entirety of Black Ops 7 Zombies like we did back with Black Ops 6, what we think it's going to turn out to be. I think my prediction last year for Black Ops 6 would be a little bit better than ass. We'll see if my scale goes up this year. We'll see if it changes. We'll see what happens. We'll see everybody's change as we get ready for Black Ops 7. But boys, let's kick it off here with some news from Black Ops 7 that we've gotten so far. And let's kick it off with the biggest news. They're already releasing the information for the first DLC map going in before the game has even dropped yet. We already know what the DLC map is going to be. Kind of insane. I don't think that's ever happened. I'm almost 100% positive that's never happened before. But I'll throw it to you first, Jay. They're already releasing map information for DLC 1. Is that a panic move, or is that just something they decided to drop for us?
The only thing that I'm worried about with this is that, remember, like last year with BO6, that we had Terminus, we had Liberty Falls, they dropped Citadel like a month after release, and then we were like, dude, like they're going to be going crazy if they've already got Citadel dropped only a month after the game. And now they're going even faster because Citadel didn't get teased until the Terminus stuff got solved. And so, like, I'm just a little concerned that they're going to do what they did with BO6, which is they're going to like come super hot out the gates. Everything's going to be sick. And then towards the end of the year, things kind of start to falter because they put all of their stuff at the beginning. I'm just confused. Like, we haven't even got to play Ashes yet, and you're teasing the next map. I feel like at least wait, because I feel like people are just, we're still so focused on Ashes right now that I don't even really like care about the teaser so far, to be honest. So I don't know. It just seems weird and confusing.
Do you think they do that because, like, remember, like, back in the day, there would be, I mean, like, they have season passes, right? But, like, back in the day, there would be, like, the DLC drop cycle, so you get, like, 4 different moments where, like, they sell something specifically and get big group of revenue coming in, as opposed to, like, now, like, if you don't buy the season pass, you get all the maps in the game, so, like, they just get that money at the front end loaded, so they might as well try to get as many people to buy it on release as possible and then just like fuck off for the second half. Never, like, maybe. I don't know, they're just kind of thinking about that as you're like bringing it up.
I mean, like, COD, like, it's just such a secular cycle that like it completely makes sense to me that like they would really bank on the beginning half of the COD life cycle and just go as hard as they possibly can for it. I just don't understand like the timing of this. Like, I don't feel like releasing this teaser a week ago whenever they dropped it makes me more hyped for the map than it would have if they released it like literally a week after Ashes came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I feel like that timing would work better to where like this. Honestly, I think this just feels like a missed opportunity. It feels like, okay, like that was cool, but I don't feel like super crazy, like, oh my gosh, like, dude, we just played Ashes, we're loving the game, and now they're dropping teasers for the next map already. Like, it just feels confusing. Like, I really don't understand the benefit of releasing it early.
Pokemon did some shit like that too. They like announced their full DLC and pre-orders for it before the game came out. Like, so I don't know if maybe it's a new publisher thing that they're doing.
Like I said, I think it's a panic move. And although I think, like Jay said, I think it almost backfires on them because now there is no hype going in after the game drops. Let's just say, for instance,
with the cutscene, right? Like the ending cutscene of the thing. There's no like teaser that we're like, oh, where are we going next? Like,
yeah.
It's like, it's one of those situations where let's just say, for instance, you know, Ashes of the Dam blows her socks off and we're all excited, we're all hyped, and then the week after they drop Astra Malorum, as I think the name, right? Astra Malorum. They drop that. All of a sudden now we're like, holy shit, let's go. Very similar to the Citadel Day Moore situation. But because they ejacked a little early here, I just don't think it's going to really hit the same. I think it's almost, especially if it doesn't come out with anything new, like a new perk or, any sort of special zombie, whatever it may be. If it's just a brand new map with nothing else tied to it, then you better hope Ashes of the Dam is really, really good, because then we have really nothing to look forward to other than just an area to play, man.
Yeah, it's definitely much harder when you ejac a little early. You know, you don't really know where to go from there. You're kind of stuck. You know, people aren't really excited after that. So
And they probably don't come back after.
No,
never. Not when you do it early. Not when you do it early. So, So, I mean, taking all of that and setting it aside, Astra Malorum is obviously a map that seems to be set in space, some sort of space station, whatever it may be. It does pique my interest a little bit in that fashion because it's different. It's one of those settings that when you think back to Moon is cool, but what do you
I've
have?
seen some people say that it's not actually in space, that it's an observatory.
That's what I thought.
So
okay,
there could be some, like maybe some of it's in space. Like it could do a moon where like part of it's on Earth and part of it's in space. Or maybe because there was that leaked rumor of the space station map, maybe this is like, because so basically, I mean, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but there's like the leaks that they're canceling like the Nazi New York map. I then immediately after Astra Malorum got teased, some people were actually saying, no, this is the New York map. And this is like a New York based observatory. And then the next map will be the space station. So it's like almost like we're going to go do some sort of space sort of stuff, some research or whatever first, and then go to the space station. But then there's the rumors that the whole New York map is like completely canceled, and that got somewhat substantiated because in one of the blog posts they removed that Richthofen was a hero of the Reich, which it's like Zombies has just been so attached to like Nazis that I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Even World War II Zombies is just straight up Nazis. Like, everything is about Nazis because it's World War II. So it feels weird that they're like shying away from it all of a sudden, because I don't feel like anybody like views the Nazis positively because of zombies. Like, those are the bad guys. Like, we're killing Nazi zombies. Like, you're sitting there playing as Dempsey. Hoorah! Like, we're killing Nazis, So it's that part's confusing to me, but yeah, I have seen some speculation that Astra Malorum is not actually in space, so I wouldn't get too excited yet that it's like, oh, we're going back up there, because who knows? People are saying it's an observatory.
Maybe they're thinking of having, like, if you have Richthofen, a character you play as, and he's the hero of the Reich, like, for once they're glorifying, like, a character on that side, right?
Yeah.
Not vilifying him enough.
Well, and I will say the political climate around that entire discussion has heated up over the last couple months, and I think that could be part of the reason why they decided to move away from it. And it definitely is a big blow to my statement that I said just a few weeks ago when we had found out that this might be a rumored map. Was Call of Duty used to have a fastball, that being it would piss people off, and it didn't really care. You look back to some of the levels on Modern Warfare 2, some of the things that took place there. No Russian, famously. Also, Black Ops 1, a lot of people didn't like the fact that JFK and Fidel Castro were playable characters inside of 5. It pissed some people off, but they didn't care, and they kind of just went and they played the edge. They towed the line a lot in those previous games. I thought, which I think we all said was a very interesting concept. None of us were saying like, oh, hell yeah, Nazis. We just thought it was an interesting idea that they all came from a separate timeline, and that this could be a potential timeline that they enter into. But maybe somebody up top said, nah, we're pulling the plug on that, which is really unfortunate if that's the case, because then I feel like we're going to get a much more muted version of this new Richthofen, and that's going to suck, to be honest with you. Like, I was really looking forward to whatever version we were about to get. And that sucks, man. That really, really sucks. I hope that's not true.
I just find it annoying because, like, I remember playing Black Ops 1, and, like, I think everybody kind of, like, knew Richthofen was a bad guy. Like, yeah, we can play as him, but even, like, the other characters in the crew were always, like, suspicious of him. They didn't trust him at all. Like, it was more just they kind of had to work with him because of the circumstance of the zombies. and it always felt like he had some nefarious purposes going on that you weren't like a fan of. And I guess maybe it's different because since then, with all the stuff they did with Primus, like they made Richtofen a sympathetic character that you like actually do root for. So maybe it's tougher, but I don't know. I'm concerned that map got canceled because that was like the one in the DLC that the leaked stuff at least, that I was like, that could be really interesting. And I'm kind of disappointed because I was excited for that map.
Even when they made him a sympathetic character, though, like they originally wanted to kill him. So I was like, like they already knew he was kind of a bad dude anyways. And then in the boss fight, if you fight him, he just wrecks your shit. He's the bad guy then. So I feel like there's just all kinds of things like, why wouldn't he be the bad guy?
And he's been a bad guy in the past. So yeah, it's really unfortunate. I hope that that's not what happens, but it looks like, and it's leaning towards that being the case, which I think takes a massive blow to the interest of this entire character group. Now, that being said, there's still 3 other characters that should have a ton of interest in all of them with our original crew, especially Takio. I think Takio might be like the one I'm most interested in going into this new group now that it seems like Richtofen's been changed, but
it is
an
English
unfortunate blow.
Yeah, that is the one thing I don't get.
I really wish they would have left it with the Japanese voice lines. That would have been so incredible. It would have been so incredible. Let's move on into some other news here. Also, another big blow was there was a dev video answering some questions for the upcoming Black Ops 7 Zombies. And one of the questions asked was, is there going to be a relic in the cursed mode that allows you to not have armor plates? Point blank, plain and simple, no was the answer. So armor will be a thing even in cursed mode, which at that point, listen, I could be being doomer and gloomer about this, but then what the fuck is the point of cursed mode? I just don't see a point.
This was why a lot of people, though, and even I had kind of started to feel this, were pushing back that this is going to feel like OG Zombies, that it's not an OG mode. Like, there's OG features, but it's not an OG mode. And then when they brought up the armor thing, I actually, with shameless plug, go join the Discord. I sent it down to the PackPod Discord, and we had some discussions in there. And some people were bringing up that, like, it would just require a complete overhaul of the game. Because even think about something as simple as, like, mantling. Mantling is, like, kind of broken. Like, think about it. On Shattered Vale, when you're out in that, like, courtyard, there's that little, like, car that you can climb up on top of. And when you do it, the zombies don't hit you. Like, they have to physically climb up there, too. And it's not, like, very smooth, so it just buys you time. And there's also times where you're, like, over on some, like, railway, and you can just mantle over and jump off. And now the zombies, they have to, like, it's just, like, takes a lot for them to catch up to you. And so it was, like, you'd have to rework all of that. You'd have to rework so many different things, because I was just sitting there thinking about damage scaling, because like BO6 does reach a point where if you have no armor, they will just one-shot you. And so I was thinking like, oh, just like don't do that, like just change the damage numbers at high rounds. But then when you start to think about all those other things like movement, like even the pack-a-punch system with the triple packs, like all these different things that kind of, it all works together. I can see why removing armor would just be so hard for them that they're just not even going to do it. So it is disappointing, because all the talks that we had about like envisioning BO6 and modern zombies with the old school systems, we're not just going to get that. And I feel like armor is just one that is so integral that it's just not going to ever feel like OG Zombies. Like there's some that I could get, like I could deal with, like the point system. The armor one is the one that it just feels like Warzone, and I feel like we're just never going to escape that.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about our dive into Black Ops 4 currently and what's been happening with that. And what we've found is essentially that, like all of the other things, the point system, some of the way the weapons work, all of those different things. There's a lot of things in Black Ops 4 that are in current modern zombies, but it still feels and has that feeling of, older generations of zombies, because you still got to go build a shield, and it still has that feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
And with modern zombies, the shield thing, it just instantly is a death blow to feeling anything like what we used to play.
Now, they did say that there's like a mechanic where your armor will refill over time. Like there's an augment where you get what's called the golden armor, which was on the tomb. where instead of you having to like pick up plates and put them back in, it'll just auto refill. And then there's also a mechanic now where I think when you just run over a plate, it'll auto refill your armor for you instead of you having to manually do it. So who knows? Maybe like literally just the lack of having to constantly like do the Warzone animation will make it feel better. I don't know. Like
it also sounds like
could,
it makes it easier.
It could make it easier, but I don't know. We just have to see it. Like I'm not going to sit here and say that curse mode is like completely doomed for at this point, but it is somewhat disappointing just because I think it was always an idea that was too good to be true. Like literally thinking we're going to get modern maps on old games, you know, because they've designed these maps to be mantled, to deal with like armor, to all like even the ways that zombies spawn and all that stuff. It's just so different, you know?
Yeah. But there are going to be 9 relics that come out on release. The hunt will be on the second the game starts for all those. And really, even with armor and weapon rarity staying in the game, I think if the 9 relics are unique enough to classic zombies, it could still work. It could still be fun. There could still be like a very good amount of fun that can be had in Black Ops 7 Zombies, not to mention a brand new map. And we'll see how it goes. Last thing I got here, boys, the HUD. The heads-up display was released. Jumba?
This was like in the video, they talk about like, no, yeah, we've had this ready the whole time. That's a HUD when you look at it where it's like, okay, yeah, you saw the feedback of people being like, where the fuck's the HUD? And you threw some electricity over the standard HUD that's in the game and then said, this is clearly zombies. The only thing when I look at this that I'm like, oh, that's cool, I like that, is the perks are in the bottom left corner again. They're not like just smack dab in the middle. That's one thing I noticed I liked. We'll take our win there. But I don't know, like, yeah, there's just not much, right? It's not any different than the multiplayer one or the one we played with in the beta, right?
It's literally just purple. They just added a bunch of purple electricity behind stuff. That's it.
I think the actually worst part about it is that the fucking compass at the top just sticks out so much now. Because before it's kind of transparent where you don't see it, where now there's just a purple rectangle on my freaking screen.
The thing that bothers me the most, and maybe it's just the system of gobblegums in the first place being just having 3 at one time. The gobblegums lined up on the right hand side of the screen, just 3 of them in a row. It's so dumb. Like I hate that so much. It reminds me of the Black Ops 4 Elixir thing that's just sitting on the screen, which might be the worst HUD of all time. But like,
mind you, Black Ops 6 has that exact same thing with the, and like I think they kind of like will go away until like you prompt them again. I don't know why that change actually ever was a thing with Gobblegums. Like, why did we need to like start off with 3? Like, yeah, you spawn in with 3. Like, what was so bad about the system of like, let's make this full true RNG?
I have no idea. I just hate it. And listen. The modern zombies fans always get annoyed when classic zombie fans bring up, you know, some criticism of what's new. I don't think anybody can like this HUD, man. I truthfully, if I find somebody who likes this HUD, please let me know, because even the Pack-a-Punch, the first time you see it, you don't even realize that there's a number on the bottom of the screen. It's off center of the gun. It's like sitting kind of off to the right of it, and it just has the numeral. You can't even really tell that your gun's Pack-a-Punch. It's just like I think they just were like, oh shit, we got to make something fast. Hop in there, let's get some electricity.
The bottom right's unnecessarily big. We don't need that little silhouette of the gun. Just give me the like little name of the gun there. Like before, the your field upgrade used to be in the middle there, where now it's like shifted off to the right because they need to make room for this stupid gun. And then on the left side, something that I didn't register until I saw people talking about this, like seeing the pictures of the characters, like they're so big, and this doesn't show us like the teammates, but like it shows you all your teammates' health bars. And I don't know why I never clocked in on that on Black Ops 6. I don't need to see your health bars. That was never in any of the previous games. I just saw your points and that's it. I don't need your health bars, but now I can see your health bar. I can see how much plates you got. I could be calling out the plate up from like a distance for you. Why?
Yeah. It's just so bad. It's just not good.
What is that little headphone symbol too next to his name? Shiny Pants got like a headphone with like.
I think that just means like he's muted his mic or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so crammed, bro. There's so much info going on.
I also hate that it just tells you whether he has like a revive or not. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
I saw that
I don't
too.
need that either. Like, why the fuck do I have
There's
that?
just so much.
And I understand, right? I understand that there's going to be changes. You can make your own changes to the HUD. So it's like, hey, why would they spend that much time on the HUD when people can customize it? I get that. I also just feel like, man, that this is the one. This is the one you guys signed off on. It's wild. Why can't the gobblegums like be stacked? Like instead of just like seeing all three of them? I don't know. Just do something. Compress it a little bit. I don't know, man. Not good. Not good HUD. Not a good HUD.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Jay,
find
you
this tweet because I saw it somewhere, and it was just trying to compare this HUD to like old games.
Like shadows.
And all it did was it just put a box over everything on the screen. And I know that like you can remove the compass and you can remove the mini map, and I didn't actually do that in BO6, and I feel like I have to now because they're so obnoxious. But it's ridiculous how much covers the screen. And honestly, with this modern HUD, the thing that I despise the most is how much they just chucked in the bottom left corner.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why did we put the
That's what I'm
rounds and the perks on top of your, like, way overdone character thing with, like, your health bar and your armors and your points? And Jumbo talks about you get your teammate stuff down there, too. Like, there's just too much down there. Like, and then the bottom right, I agree with the gun thing. Why do we need this, like, silhouette of a gun? I don't care about that.
You can see
I
what
sent
gun
some
you're
pictures.
holding.
Yeah, like I know what guns I have. Yeah, like that little picture doesn't do it for me. I sent some pictures of even like just the BO6 one or the old BO3 ones. There's just so much less stuff, and we don't need all that stuff. And I'm not even like focusing on the compass and the mini map because, like I said, you can get rid of those. But just the corners are so much more refined. Like, I know that they wanted to move the rounds back down to the bottom left because it's like nostalgic, like that's where BO3 and some of these older games are, but it just looks so bad when you have all that stuff. Like, just comparing the BO3 bottom left corner that has the rounds, it has the perks, and it has the character profile, and you compare that to BO7, it just feels it's just so much more clustered, dude. Like, I'm trying to feel immersed in the gameplay. I don't want to feel like I'm Iron Man, where I've got like all this stuff on my screen that's giving me information on everything, you know? I'm in a zombie apocalypse.
I feel
didn't
like
realize that
compass. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I didn't realize the Black Ops 6 one had that little.
Yeah,
Like,
the Black
I
Ops
thought
6
the Black
one.
Ops 6 one was
Yeah.
like annoying too, which this is missing the
pretty
gobblegums, the compass, and the thing.
Yeah.
But if you just factor those in, like you're talking about the bottom left, the middle, and the right are like still significantly less cluttered.
I
And you
also
can,
feel
and
like
BO6,
the
you can also
bottom
move
left.
the perks. You can move them. So
Oh, you can move them?
in BO6,
In the
you can move them to the
customizable
bottom
thing,
left
yeah.
corner. If you
Oh,
wanted, yeah.
okay. Yeah, because I was like, in this, it just looks kind of weird because like the perks are like itty bitty tiny, and then they're next to the big ass round sign, and I was like, what the fuck's the point of that? I was like, at least match them up because it looks like they're like uneven, like the health bar and everything's like way up
there's
here,
that
and then
weird
there's the
gap
rounds,
between the
and then
perks and it's,
yeah, like
compared
it
to
just
the
makes
Black
you
Ops
feel
3
like
one.
it's awkward.
You see the Black Ops 3 one, like it does look a little bit sized better with the round and the perk. My thing was, and I hope they fix this. I don't know if this is a problem. I did change my HUD at the beginning of Black Ops 6. I immediately took off minimap, took off compass, and I set it up to what was like the most like classic version. Like they had a preset, but I even like went and modified it. But you know how like 9 times out of 10 you start up COD, it says update required, please restart game. Every time that would happen, it would reset my HUD. So I was constantly resetting it to the point where I just gave up and I just left the fucking it all on and started playing with minimap and shit. So
I just don't know why we need a compass. Why do we need a compass? Am I missing
don't know
something?
either.
they're doing it so that it makes it easier to be able to find, like, because like if you've ever paid attention to the compass, it shows you all the ammo crates, the crafting tables, it shows you where like the pack-a-punches, shows you where every perk is,
That's
like everything's
part of the
there.
fun. is
Have
trying
you
to find
ever
it.
have you ever like pressed like the map button on your controller? Like, have you ever done that, Wyatt?
No.
Yeah, there's a map. You have a full size map
That's
in
so
Zombies.
stupid to me.
I one
That
day like
is
was like,
stupid.
because I play M&K, and one day I was just like, out of like a habit of like playing Apex and BRs and everything like that, I just hit M to find something. I was like, wait, what the fuck? There's a map.
So the interesting thing that me and Jay were talking about a few nights ago, just randomly in Discord, was the idea that there's so many, like I brought up the point. Jay was like, playing on Black Ops 4 has kind of made me realize that Like there's like this sense of like accomplishment when you learn a map really well, when you can figure out and know where certain things are just off the top of your dome, playing it for like so long. Like when we started to really learn Voyage of Despair, which we're going to get to here in a second, when we started to actually understand the map, it's like, oh, okay, I know exactly how to use this grand staircase to get exactly where I want to go to save money to get to the galley instead of buying the door at the top. So it's like, that's like good information to have. And I likened it to the fact that before I had an iPhone, I used to clean pools and I just had to know where certain houses were around the city. Like I just needed to know how to use the major streets to get to whatever house I needed to get to. Well, the second I got GPS, I swear all of that info is out of my head. I can't go anywhere without GPS now. And I feel like with a lot of these zombies players now, and I didn't even know about the map that you could pull up. And I didn't know that there was logos and icons on the compass. I thought it was literally just a compass till you said that right now. Because the second I started Black Ops 6, I took that shit off. But the fact that you have all that on there, it kind of takes away that feeling of accomplishment for just learning a map completely and entirely on your own. It just takes all of that away. It makes it to where it doesn't have that same feel, that same vibe. Like when I was taking Kyle through Die Rise, when I had finally like learned the map, I had this sense of like, hey man, I can show you where all these parts are. I learned all these parts through trial and error, like going back and forth, playing different games and the parts spawning in different areas. And, you know, I could have looked it up, but I didn't want to. I wanted to just learn it on my own. And it felt so much cooler to me to show, you know, the people who haven't played that map a lot, to just show them what I had learned through time and like all that kind of stuff. So I feel like that's another aspect of like classic zombies that's been lost with some of these modern adjustments. And it kind of sucks, man.
I like that too, because it's like you build like a map in your mind of like where everything is. And you're like, if it's not here, then it has to be here and all this stuff. And you kind of like can keep track of it in your head. So when you learn the map, you're like, if it's not here, I know it's going to be here. If this isn't the spot, then we go here. Like, all that, and then knowing how to navigate through it, like to go to certain spots and everything. Like,
yeah,
I like building that map in my mind, and then I'm like, now I understand.
A funny example: we had to go to the dining hall all together last night at one point, and I just started following you guys, and we all ran. We were like all the way at the back of the ship, like on the poop deck, and ran all the way down to the grand staircase. And like I'm following you guys, and I was like, there's a door I opened literally like three.
There's that little stairwell
like,
grate thing. Yeah.
I'm like 30 feet back. There's a door right there I could tell them about that we could have been there already, but we're just gonna continue running across this map.
We're just gonna go this way.
But like, you know, like that's like some of like the part of the fun of it. That like we didn't know that because like we've played Voyage. Like I mean, I've only played it like 3 times now. I know you guys did some practice runs, but like, you know, you don't have that ability to like just like find or look in your top left corner. Or anything like that, yeah.
Also, I just want to say, I feel like, because we've talked about like the war zonification of zombies a lot, and you know what's one thing I've never really thought about that like is truly just a BR thing is pulling up the map. Like pulling up that map and seeing, I can look at every perk, I can look where the mystery box is on the map, I can see where there's like anything that's relevant on the map, I see it there. And so instead of having to learn the map, like the amount of times, and I found it funny because I didn't realize it at first until you just said it, Wyatt, where you've turned your stuff off. The amount of times where y'all would be like, dude, where is this thing? And I would just pull my map up and I would ping it for you. And then I was like, just look at your map, bro. And it's one of those things where like, I hate that it's like I'm taking advantage of the game, like giving me the information for free. But I actually don't like that. And like, I don't like that I have the opportunity to do that. And just like, if someone doesn't know where Stamina Up is, instead of trying to tell them where it is and describe like how to get there or learn the map themselves, I can just ping it for them. I'm not even close to it. I can pull my map up, I ping it, they can see it through every wall now and just walk towards the objective marker. And it's like, we've just dumbed it down. And in BRs, it makes sense because the map is ginormous and there's so many teams and objectives and you need it to communicate. Like, it makes complete sense. But, like, in zombies, I just feel like it doesn't. We're playing against, it's a PvE mode and the map's not that big. You know what I mean? So
dude, there was so many times because I would turn mine off. Every time you reset it for a while, I would brute force through it, and I'd be like, "Where is this?" Or like, just look in your map, and I'm like, I turned that shit off. And then I told you one day, just my mind coded to hit M, and I was like, "Oh, we actually have a map. Like there is one here."
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is like this is a survival mode. There needs to be survival aspects to the game. If you want to make the zombie, if you want to make it to where we can mantle, that's great. If you want to make it to where we're basically invincible, that's fine. But like there does have to be some survival aspects left over, and one of those has to be traversing the map on your own, trying to figure out where certain things are. Like that just has to be a core value of a survival mode, and they've taken that away. And it's super unfortunate because I feel like that was one of the fun parts of playing a brand new map, was trying to figure out where everything was.
It's just a lot of people I think don't care for it that are now what I think the majority of players. There's so many people I talk to that love zombies and they say it's so fun and they have such a great time with it. But then I'll get like a thing where it's like, yeah, I finished like all the camos finally, like did that. But like the only reason that they're doing it is to get the camos for multiplayer almost.
Yeah.
Right. Which
Yeah.
I know they separated them, but still they just want it for that reason. They don't care to do anything else. So like they don't want it to be difficult. They want to get in, they want to set up, and they just want to like get their headshots.
Mm-hmm.
I found the tweet, by the way, and this is like with everything turned on, and this is the most possible stuff. But if you go look at the pictures, I sent this the two, and so it's like the normal what you see in game, and then it's when someone just like blocks all of it out. And when they block it out, I feel like it makes it look even worse when you just see how much stuff is on the screen, man. Like, we got the mini map, we got the rounds, we got the gun. We all of a sudden, when like a character starts talking to you, their profile picture has to appear on screen for some reason. That never happened in old games. Like, you could have voices and stuff talking to you over the radios, but for some reason, we have to physically see a picture of who's talking to us. You've got the gobblegums there. You got everything, right? And on top of that, you have like the points, which once again, you can remove some of these things, but like the points literally appearing on your screen, because for some reason, they think we need dopamine hits for zombies like that. Like I don't need that in the middle of my screen. And then you've got the health bars and everything. It's just so much. And it just even like when you combine that with things like exfil, which I'm not like a massive exfil hater, but it just really it removes the immersion that I felt as a kid of I've showed up at this random location, and like Wyatt said, it's a survival experience. I have to survive. That felt like a raw, like it's just me and this world that I'm in. To where this, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like I'm some super soldier. I'm like Master Chief on a mission, and people are radioing into my head, and like I can get like evac'd at any point I want, extracted. Like there's just so much. It just doesn't feel like I have to survive in this world anymore.
Mm-hmm. You know, the one thing with like this was actually my thought process with Easter eggs, and I found it interesting when you had like just origins where like finishing the Easter egg finished the map. Right. Yeah. And like you don't play after. I like the Easter eggs that like, you know, let you continue playing after, which most of Black Ops did. But one thing I also really liked of like the old zombies game is you don't win. You get like a high round and you can be proud of that high round, but you don't win. There was no way to say like I survived that shit. Like eventually you're going down. And that's what exfil took away. It gives it a chance to be like, oh yeah, I lived. I exfilled that so-and-so round. Like I actually miss that like of zombies where I'm like, I guess like completing the Easter egg is winning, but like other than that, you just don't win. I liked it when the Easter eggs don't make you win. Where it's like, okay, we finished it, this is cool, but like now we have to die if we want this round to end. Right?
And it would be one thing too if like the exfils were actually extremely difficult, but really all it comes down to is like who has the chopper gunner. Okay, pop it real quick. Now, obviously, you can say, well, just don't use the chopper gunner. Once again, going back to every single argument that's been made with Black Ops 6 and modern zombies in general, you've made and set up the system to use these things. And if you don't use them, it's basically null and void. There's no point in even playing. Say, like with armor, with ammo crates, all that kind of stuff. Like you've catered and made this entire mode to where it's almost essential to have to use those things. So it's just, it just reaches a dead end.
I think, I don't know about Black Ops 7 yet, but without a kill streak on Black Ops 6, some of the exfils are borderline impossible. Especially like if you're trying to do something where you're not like just like full kitting with like the Wonder Weapon and stuff like that. Like Liberty Falls, you get an abomination that spawns partway through it. Like you won't kill it in time. It's just not possible because like it's time gated with like the mouth. You just can't do enough damage.
But yeah, so that's the last thing I wanted to add to that point too is one thing that it also does is stifle creativity when you just have the map and the ability to have like a compass. I remember like figuring out and trying to manipulate spawns on certain maps in early classic zombies because I knew a map so well. And I would think to myself, well, if I keep this door closed, and this is really like simple shit. I'm not trying to sound like a fucking rocket scientist here. But if you just think about Kino der Toten, or if you just don't open that back door right there, I think everybody had that moment on their own where they were like, wait, if I don't open this, I can just run the stage probably forever if I wanted to. And that's, you know, that's like a thing that happened when you learned a map like the back of your hand. That can still happen today. Don't get me wrong. It can still happen. But you take away and you stifle a lot of the creativity when you just make it to where everything is available and you can just run around. That's also a problem with like gigantic ass maps too, is you take away that as well. I'm not going to hate on gigantic ass maps though, because, you know, more area, more fun to have fun with. But I do think it is dulling down the experience overall, and it makes it to where it's not as survival based and not as fun. And like, to just go back to it, like, I know a lot of people here don't like the map, but just imagine if you loaded into a die rise and there was a compass there and it just told you exactly where everything was. Like, dude, I just don't think you would have nearly the same experience for people who do like die rise, or for instance, any of the maps that people really care about, like who have it ranked high, like Origins would be completely ruined by a compass and stuff like that. Like it would make it not fun.
I think also it just promotes them to make more flat maps, because like a compass and shit on die rise wouldn't do you any fucking good.
Oh,
because there's
Reckoning
like
the
3
map
different
sucks.
stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so it's like, yeah, I can ping it, and that's the only way I would know what floor it's on and everything like that. But like, it makes them more key towards like building flat maps, which I don't like. I think that it's cool when you have stories, you have to go up and travel down and do all that kind of stuff.
Imagine them trying to do a map on Voyage with the 4 different layers of the ship all just stacked on top of each other. It would be a nightmare.
Not to mention the fact that a compass basically rendered old Vulture essentially useless. Like, you could have just made a semi compass with just having Vulture. That's what Vulture did at the beginning. It just gave all the outlines for all of the different perks. You could have just made that a perk, and you took it away. Well, you did make it a perk, and then you just took it away. So yeah, I don't know. Just not fun. But that's everything with Black Ops 7 right now as we're getting ready to get into it. Boys, real quick, before we get into our breakdown of Voyage of Despair, I think we should have a quick little prediction for the life cycle of Black Ops 7 and what we think it's going to be. I'll kick it off. Last year, I said Black Ops 6 I thought was going to be a little bit better than ass. I think I was correct in that. I think it was a little bit better than ass. I'm going to stay with that original prediction. I'm going to say just a little bit better than ass. As badly as I want to say I think they made improvements, I think there's certain small things that I like. I feel like the integration of like ammo crates into the map feels a lot more genuine, doesn't feel as weird. I'm really excited for the idea of having a car to drive around. Like, some of those changes I feel really excited about. If they change some of these storylines to some of these maps and change like the story background to a guy like Richtofen, though, I think that's going to be a huge detractor for me, and it's going to make it to where I can't really get immersed like I was really hoping to, because I wanted just a crazy, wacky storyline, and Richtofen would have been a catalyst for that. So that really blows. But I still have Takio, so who knows? But yeah, I think I'm going to stick with a little bit better than ass. What do you got, Jay?
I think the game it's going to do exactly what BO6 was to Cold War, where it's like it's an improvement, but it's still just kind of the same thing. Like, I think ultimately I view modern zombies as like just eternally mid. Like, it just kind of lives in that mid tier. I don't view it as ever being good enough to truly challenge like the BO123 era. And we haven't fully played BO4, but I think BO4 I would even consider like guaranteed, at least from what I played so far, above the modern zombie stuff. But I don't think it's like so terrible that like, you know, I'm never going to want to play it. So yeah, I just think it's going to be slightly better than BO6. Like, BO6 was slightly better than Cold War.
Kyle?
I think it's going to be better than BO6. I like a lot of the features they're adding, like the car and stuff, but it's going to feel a lot of the same. And I kind of like the only thing that gives me hope is that these maps feel like they actually have character. And, the BO6 ones, it felt like none of them had character really, except for like Shattered Veil. And the rest of them were all facilities, or we were in a town, or there was just like, they just were missing that that classic zombies vibe. And, Shadows of the Damned, no, what's the name of it?
Ashes of the Damned.
Ashes of the Damned. My bad. Ashes of the Damned actually kind of gives me hope that they have, they're starting to go back to the original zombies vibe. And since we've been playing BO4, like each of those maps like are entirely different from each other, and they feel like they're just so different. Like one you're in the Colosseum, then the next one you're on the Titanic, and it's just like there's just such a big difference between each map. Whereas like the last one we played, it just felt like it was more of the same, and I didn't like that in BO6 as much. So as long as they can make each map feel different and feel like it's its own thing, then I'll be happy. But like if they just go, hey, you get a car on this map, hey, we're going to slap a car on the next map too. And, if they just repeat that stuff, then that's going to make me feel...
If we're in a space station and a freaking bear shows up, I'm going to lose my mind,
He's gonna lose it.
Do not do the amalgamation thing where it's like they're doing these sick, twisted experiments on this island prison, and he shows up in a castle in France. How? Like, I know the Dark Ether lore BS reason that you decided to be lazy and you explain it, but if a bear shows up on a space station, I'm going to lose my mind.
I feel the same way.
That'll be a quick 100K on a TikTok. I'll tell you that right now.
The bear drops on that space station. I'm telling you right now, I might just stop playing it. I might just stop playing the map. That rant will be
legendary. That rant will be legendary. Jumbo, your thoughts?
So I agree that like I like what I'm seeing with the maps. I think that's what I'm like looking forward to most, because that was like our biggest issue with like the last game. And then I've said it before, but I'd say it again, that like the rest kind of rise or dies for me on cursed mode and how fun it is with the replayability. I was really high on cursed mode when we heard about it first initially, as we found out more details and everything. Even actually, like as we've like pondered on the details we even had, I'm like, we still really don't even know what this looks like. So anyways, if you've called, what did you say? What was your explanation, Wyatt?
A little bit better than ass.
A little bit better than ass. My thing would be like, I'm like thinking this is a setup for disappointment. It's like, it's unfortunate because I don't want to. I don't want to look at it that way. But like, I hope it like actually is really fun. Curse mode is great, but like right now, I just feel like I'm set up where like when it drops, it's not going to be anywhere near what it should be, and we're just like, okay, that's it. Disappointed on like the one game mode that we're like a little in the unknown about.
I can see it now. Remember when Liberty Falls like released and Waffles made Liberty Balls video, and that just like took off? People are already making the asses of the damn joke, but it's like, just imagine the day the game drops and everybody's just like, like, and that happens. I can already see him just making asses of the damned.
Yep. The main reason I think that will happen is because, like, while the map will probably have a lot of, like, really cool features, and it's got that character, and it's got everything, it's the systems are going to make the map feel like any other map. Because, like, we've talked about it before, Citadel and Shattered Veil were both maps we enjoyed, but, like, because it just, like, the game all felt the same because of the systems, they don't stand out enough. So it's really hard for the map on its own to carry itself when the systems just feel, no matter what you do, the exact same. We were talking, like Kyle was just bringing up again, a point we made on our last episode, is that like, oh, like you're in the Colosseum, you're in the Titanic. But the big thing too was like each map has its own set of mechanics that give that map that feel, and it's like that for every game prior to that. You don't get any of the shit that you get on Moon that you get on Shangri-La. Like, it's different. Like, you don't get Call of Dead that you get on Bird. It's different. So,
yeah. The one thing I'm worried about is I have a really bad feeling Curse mode is just going to feel like a gigantic waste of time, and like they could have put it into something else, which you never want to think going into it, because that was the thing we were most excited about. But as time has gone on and more information has come out, it really just feels like they probably should have just not even attempted it at this point.
Dude,
Like there was
if
just
it-
no point for it.
If it becomes some like shitty side mode that you're like, why even play? Because
Yeah.
like once again, the point system, although it felt like a deal breaker when it first happened, because that was like when BO4 dropped, that was like the biggest change. It's like,
Yeah.
what the points and the perks, what have you done? And when we look back on those, it's like nothing compared to like armor and movement and all this other, like kill streaks and the map and all this other stuff. If we're just sitting there and they're like, yeah, like we gave you the old point system, and like that's kind of the only true thing that feels like OG, it's gonna suck, and that's gonna be so upsetting. It's like, why even do it at that point?
What I was thinking about too is like I was messing around with the BO4 stuff, and they have like mutations on there where you can like change the game a little bit. And I was like, if this is going to feel like mutations are in BO4, I feel like it's going to be kind of shitty because it's like it's not what we wanted. We wanted a classic zombies mode, and that's not what we're getting. We're getting like little tweaks here and there to make the game feel a little bit more like old zombies, but it's not entirely giving it to us, and that's why we're going to be like, what's the fucking point?
They're doing what all the
might as well
commenters
just
say.
play the regular one.
They're just okay. Just don't use it. Just don't use it. Want an ability, just not use it.
Dude,
don't use it. But
This is like this is the annoying part about it though, is like if curse mode sucks, like just straight up, it's like this might be a Tomb 2.0 where they try to do this marketing BS where it's like we're going back to Origins, the map you think is the greatest of all time, we're going back there, and it sucks. So then if they do that with Cursed, where they're like, we're going back to the OG systems and the OG stuff that you know and love, like it's so back, and then it's not, like it's gonna blow back in their face, so it's gonna be terrible, like truly.
Just like the Tomb.
You're just getting so many people hyped up about something, and if you don't deliver, it's, even if it's not necessarily like absolutely awful, but if it's just then it's going to be so upsetting to so many people that put a lot of hope into it. So I hope that we're pleasantly
I hope we're wrong.
surprised.
I hope we're wrong because like
I hope we're
I
wrong,
was
too.
really, when I saw Curse Mode originally, and I thought it was gonna like play out almost like a roguelike, which there are a lot of still aspects there. Like, you know, you can only get relics by using a certain relic. I thought it would play out with a roguelike. I'm like, maybe this could be fun. Maybe it could be a new experience. And even though it is a new experience and not like what we had in the past, maybe it's still enjoyable, right? Because it like takes away from some of those other things that we just don't like. But yeah, so that's my point.
Yeah, so there it is. The worst part about it is if it does blow up, like Jay just said, the reason why the Tomb was looked at and hated so much, because people who just play the map without being on social media at all, they probably are like, it's all right. Like, not my favorite map, not the worst map ever. It's okay. Like, that's fine. The reason why so many people were let down was the marketing leading into it was that Origins feel. You do this again with a cursed mode, a classic mode that people have been asking for a long time, and it doesn't deliver like the Tomb didn't deliver, dude. Oh, dude, especially with how Battlefield 6 has been playing out. You've got other games that are hopping out and they're doing great. I think you could have like Black Ops 6 at the end was in shambles. Like it was bad, their player count and how many people were playing the game. I could see this crashing even worse, to be honest with you. So yeah. That's what it is. That's where we're at. Ladies and gents, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to go into our Easter egg run on Voyage of Despair and break down just the map in general, what we felt about it as we continue to make our way through the series of Black Ops 4 Easter eggs. Let's take a quick break and get into Voyage. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Voyage of Despair has been completed by the boys. Not without trial and tribulation. I'll tell you that much right now. Lots of the trial and tribulation was internet-related issues where it just feels like Black Ops 4, we had some internet issues on previous games. Black Ops 4 has slapped us in the face with internet issues because nobody can join on me. When we play with Jay, we'll just randomly get connection interrupted. And so we have to...
It's just me. My internet just randomly flickers because it happens on my whole PC. Like Discord will disconnect, everything disconnects for like 10 seconds, and then I come back. But when that happens, it kicks you guys out of the game. So
Yeah. So then
the
we have to
problem is
rely
just
on
peer-to-peer.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
and Kyle, Kyle couldn't be further from Jumba as far as the coast that we are on. So it just makes it to where it's tougher on him. It's all bad, but we figured it out.
It works
and
for
we got
me
it
though.
completed.
It's fine because at least I'm the only one that struggles. But like me hosting is out of the question because then it puts all three of you in a bad position, right? So at least it's just like one here. But like,
well, for me, I'm in the middle. So like, no matter what, like either of you is fine.
Yeah,
it's
but I
just
still
them
think-
two.
Yeah, I guess it gives the two of them. I feel like you're still closer to them than me though. I don't know.
Historically, East Coast servers have always been better for me than
Okay.
West Coast servers, but I just
Interesting.
don't know because I don't have like a ping counter up on zombies, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, throughout all of the issues, the internet problems, we figured it out. We got into Voyage of Despair. We completed it. It was overall, I guess I'll kick it off here with how we thought about just the Easter egg in general. And then from there, we can kind of go into our full thoughts on the map. But I'll kick it off with the Easter egg. I thought a lot of the steps were super interesting. I like the aspect of the solar system being involved in that. The clock step was a little piece of shit at times. Didn't really care for that one as much because at one point in one of our runs, we just kind of guessed and it worked somehow. But that clock step is a little piece of shit. It's a little runt, but we got it. And then after that, the boss fight, it had the 5 stages, the 5 rounds. I actually liked the boss fight. I know that not everybody here liked it, but I kind of enjoyed it. I don't mind the idea of just kind of killing zombies over and over and over again during a boss fight. There was a little bit of stress added in there as well. So I don't know. I was cool with it. Obviously, it's not going to reach BO6 levels of boss fights. I think those ones will always be the best. But I thought overall it was a pretty good Easter egg. I really appreciated the map. I ended up walking away from it feeling a lot better than I had before. And I always said I liked Voyage of Despair. So that's how I feel. I'll kick it off with Jumba. How did you feel?
Overall on the map, in my opinion, or wait, are we just doing Easter egg right now?
Just doing Easter egg right now.
Easter egg, okay. Yeah, no, I thought the Easter egg was great. I know you guys kind of like took on this one. So for a bit there, I was just like carrying around the zombie, but I liked that like while you guys were able to do steps, I was like gathering parts for like the shield and like trying to just make use of my time. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, the clock step, I mean, I didn't even be interested for you guys to elaborate more on the clock step because I have no idea what you all were struggling with. But like the other parts, like the lockdown sequences that were kind of difficult, those were all fun. I enjoyed it. Like, having to figure out puzzles. I found, other than the clock step though, this one was simpler than 9. I don't know if you guys felt the same way.
Way simpler.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if that's because like maybe I just knew more of 9 compared to this one, but I felt it was like simpler. I remember when right before we started the boss, I was like, what's the next step? You're like, okay, boss is finally started. It was like, oh shit. But I did like the boss. I like the boss a lot better than I did like 9's boss. But overall, positive experience on the Easter egg. It was interesting.
Yeah, this one was for me and Kyle. It was patchwork at the beginning. I thought Kyle was leading it. That wasn't the case. So I texted him early in the morning on the day we were going to do it. I was like, all right, I've watched this video a couple times. And let me just say, I love Milo to death. Raffle Waffles. That video is not ideal for the Voyage of Despair Easter egg. Just not ideal whatsoever.
No business being 40 minutes long of a video.
No.
It's not that complicated.
Yeah, there's much better videos out there. And there was a lot of like weird explanations that we figured out along the way what he was trying to say, but it wasn't the easiest to understand. And in no nonsense guides, that's not the place you want to be. But
I looked specifically. The title for those ones don't say no nonsense. I don't know if he knew. He's like, this shit's
nonsense.
Yeah, there was some nonsense.
I don't know if he realized. He's like, oh shit, these ones are not my tightest work. There's some nonsense on here. It said easy guide in the thumbnail. Also not an easy guide. I'll tell you that.
No.
But,
So first run, me and Kyle had a lot of trouble with the clock step because it was just trying to figure out the levers and where it was. The way that he had explained it was like, just go 5 minutes from, this direction, which ended up being correct. But it was also just a weird way to explain it for when you get to the other side of, the levers. So me and Kyle we started the clock step on round 11. We didn't finish it till round 17 on our first run. So obviously some problems there. On our actual run where we finished, I think we had the clock step done by round 6. So a little bit of a misstep there.
And that was only
from me and Kyle.
because I think we accidentally killed a zombie and it progressed around, or like we took slightly too long.
You took a little
and
bit
the
too long
zombie
and the
died.
zombie died. But like, because there was one thing where you guys did like a bunch of practice runs. You're like, we got this down. And then our first run, oh no, yeah, no, the next one we were fine. The run before we were like, we got connection interrupted. You guys were having troubles with one. We were like, what the fuck is this? This is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not making
And
sense.
that was
We're like,
me,
we have it
Kyle,
all
and
right.
Jay trying to figure that
Yeah.
out.
Well,
Like,
where's the next one?
what's going on?
The reason it's just a little dumb is so basically, like, you get these clocks, right? And you're basically taking the clock and you have to sort of recreate that clock on this, like, lever at the front of the ship and the back of the ship. But the levers things are not all the same. So, like, one of them looks like an actual clock where it's got, like, 5, 15, 20, you know, all that stuff, 5, 10, 15, 20. But it's not like numbers. It just has, like, little words. But you can clearly see, like, this is 5, this is 10, this is 15, based on what a normal clock would be. But then some of the other ones, it doesn't have that. It only has, like, it has just 3 of them that cover the entire first 30 minutes. So you're like, okay, are the first 2 5 and 10? And so it's just like, it just got a little confusing sometimes because of that, but ultimately we got it in the end. And the final run that we actually did beat it, literally first try we got it. So
Yeah, we got it
Also,
like so quick.
the clocks are just like awkwardly put on there, so you have to like round up sometimes, or like. And I was like, "This is bullshit." I was like, "Why didn't you just put it on the fucking number?"
I
Yeah,
will.
so-
Last thing I'll also say for mine is like, you know me, I love any steps that are collaborative, and like, so the fact that like I was able to sit up top and shoot the planets while you guys ran around where like you needed to be to like pick up the orb or whatever, I just like that shit. Like that, no matter
Dude.
what. If there's a way that like you have to get multiple people involved, and it was funny because like that wasn't even supposed to be my job. I just accidentally shot the fucking planet. I was like, oh, I can do this now, so let me just do this, right? Like, yeah.
well, like even the clock step, I wanted us to run practice runs because Wyatt, when they were doing it, just them two, or maybe it was Kyle, who was doing the hours by themselves
It was me.
the first time.
He was doing the hours.
Yeah. And so Wyatt was talking about, I got to run, like, because they're like,
So
it's
much
weird because the minutes
distance,
are
yeah.
all together, but the hours are like really far from each other on the backside of the ship. So it's just like, I was like, I'm just going to get in there and be the third person, because if we have 3, then we don't have to have one person running back and forth just to check these 2. So
Yeah.
it got 3 people involved, and then you're holding the zombies, so all of a sudden the whole squad is like actually doing shit, you know, instead of someone.
Well, yeah,
just
and
sitting there.
not just that collaboratively, also just like going to all the portals together and transporting together and fighting. And I know that like a lot of Easter eggs have those types of steps, but just running together as a squad when you're running with your boys and you're all like running to this pad, there's just something about it, man. It just feels so cool.
I also really liked the end where it's like the eyes open, we got to shoot the eye, and you're just like all of us turn and fucking shoot.
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
No, it was cool. Kyle, me and you kind of tried to patchwork this thing together. Ultimately, we were successful, but it took us a little bit longer than we would have liked. How did you feel about it?
You know, honestly, it was so funny. Day of, I received a text. Hey, so you're running this thing tonight, right?
Context. So the night before, I'm talking to Wyatt and Cord, and I was like, who's leading this one? And he goes, I think Kyle is.
I swear on my life, I thought Kyle was
And
too. I
that's
remember
what I
a
thought.
conversation where we
we
said
had
Kyle
a conversation, but we said, Kyle, are you going to do it? And he said, no, I'm going to do Ancient Evil. I remember this conversation vividly when Kyle brought up the Ancient Evil thing. I was like, he did say that. So I think you guys are remembering that we said Kyle was going to do this one, but what we just sort of I don't think we pinpointed one person. We just said like, oh, like Wyatt and Kyle will do it because they did it back in the day. This is like one of the few Easter eggs that they have run way back in the day. So we just kind of left it there. But then the night before, I'm like, Wyatt, who's doing this? And he goes, Kyle. And I was like, okay, we should probably text him. And I told him we should text him because I was like, I bet Kyle doesn't think he's doing this. Wyatt thinks Kyle's doing it, and Kyle thinks someone else is doing it. So then go ahead, Kyle. What happened the next morning?
So the next morning, I get a text. It's like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, we're running this thing at like 6 tonight. He texts me. He goes, hey, so you're leading this thing, right? And I go, what? I go, I'm not leading this thing. I thought somebody else was. And then he goes, oh, shit. And he goes, well, we could patch it together. And I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
So then
which
he starts watching the video. I get home. I watch the video. I find a bunch of shit on Wikipedia and shit of like how we're supposed to do this stuff. Jumba nicely found us a nice paper that had a bunch of shit in it. And I read through all that.
That guy's got more.
and I
He's
was
got
like,
one for every Black Ops 4 map.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Just gotta
great.
go back to the
Because
Reddit.
I was like reading through it and I was like, okay, I think I understand exactly what we're supposed to do. And then we ran it the first time and it just took a little too long. And then we got the connection error, which I really think we could have got it on.
I
the
think we
first
would've
run.
got
still
it.
beat it.
We would have
Yeah.
fought the boss at like round like 35, but like
Yeah.
I know.
I think we would have got it, especially because like we had 4 Krakens. We might have struggled because we had them all upgraded and we didn't know not to upgrade them. But we had 4 Krakens.
No,
And then-
we knew not to all upgrade them.
Oh, mine was.
I was the
upgraded.
only
I
one.
mentioned
Remember,
that, yeah,
I had
Oh,
poison,
okay.
and everybody
Maybe
else
it was
had their own.
after we started doing it. Yeah, after we.
Yeah.
Or
I
maybe
think
I
the thing that
of
we would have
different
struggled
day,
with is
yeah.
I don't think we had the Helion Salvo, did we?
I had one
had
and
one.
full
Yeah,
power.
he had
yeah.
one.
Only
I
yeah.
did.
But I
That
had
one.
also
That
like we had like 3 sets of homunculus. Like we were pretty kitted. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like round 22. It only made sense we were that kitted.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
will
We were
say in
pretty
terms of
kidded.
time wise, we beat it in 2 hours. The run where we first DC'd, that was also 2 hours, and we had
and
just
we hadn't started
the
the planet step. Yeah.
So we had the planet step, and we that one, you know, first try probably would have been even worse too. Who knows what would
Yeah.
happen there?
Low key, the
So-
planet step was annoying too, and it was funny because Jumba shoots the planet and he's like, "Oh shit, it's dropping," and
Well,
we're like,
'cause
"Oh fuck."
I'm gonna go find fucking proof. I swear on my life, like literally 30 seconds before I asked, I'm like, we have to shoot this with a Kraken, right? And I'm the only one without a Kraken. And Jay says, yeah. So then after I'm like, oh, the
Well,
planet's over here, and I
okay,
just
hold
shot
on.
in the
In my
sky. I
defense-
didn't expect it to come down. I was like,
In my
what?
defense, I'm supposed to be the least knowledgeable about these Easter eggs. So if I say any shit like that moving forward, just don't trust me because I have not watched
Yeah,
the video at all.
sure.
So
Sure.
I just assumed you knew what you were talking about.
No,
I'm like,
I
oh,
was
yeah.
asking a
Like, I
question.
was
You said
backing
yeah.
up.
So when I saw it, I shot it. I was like, oh, fuck, it came down.
I just backed you up. I said, yeah.
I got
didn't
my
know.
ass kicked trying to get that
No.
planet.
And I tried to shoot it with the Kraken, and that shit would miss. So in fact,
Yeah.
you don't shoot it with the Kraken. It's the
Yeah,
complete
yes.
opposite of.
Yeah. It's the last
I
one.
got
It
my
was the funniest
absolute
thing because
ass
I
kicked.
did not hear Jumba ask that question. He goes, "You have to shoot with the Kraken, right?" And Jay says, "Yeah." And I was like sitting there. I was like, "No, you don't." And then all of a sudden I hear this, "Oh shit! I shot the planet."
That was just
They were
me. Yeah,
just
that was
like,
me being
oh,
stupid. I
He
shot in
tried
the
to
sky
shoot it to be
as
like,
if like it's
because
over
I'm
here.
looking to shoot it, and he goes, "It's this one," and he shoots it. I can't even see where his bullet went. By the way, I have no idea. And all of a sudden, I find it, and it's turned to the light blue, which it does when someone's hit it, and you could see it falling. And I was like, oh no. And then I look to the back of the ship where it is, and nobody's back there. And I was like, oh no. So Wyatt is booking it now to try
Dude.
to get there because he was the closest.
They were all in there like it was a fucking mosh pit just waiting to munch on my ass. And that's exactly what they did. And I was able to get it. And then the second one was even tougher. I was able to get that one as well. But after that, like really, I honestly am thankful that the connection interrupted on that first run because I just think it would have been way more hectic than it needed to be. And getting another day to kind of digest everything and like get the info down, it was much better. And I just felt like much more in control, obviously, on like the second.
Yeah, but
day being
imagine we
able to
finished it
understand
on that first try.
It would have been. It
Imagine-
would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we finished
I
it
don't
on
know
the
if we-
first try, that would have been bad. Because now moving forward, maybe we'll be like, okay, we have to have a for sure locked in person who has
I
tried
think-
to like learn it ahead of time, you know?
I kind of
Well,
like.
Jay was
having-
like, "We got to do dry runs," and
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I didn't do any fucking dry runs."
I know you
on this
guys
shit
didn't in
at
that
all.
one, but like that's what all the ones that we've ever done that were smooth in the past. And you guys would always be like, "Oh, he's doing it solo," because you'd see me playing BO3. But that's literally what I was doing because I knew that if we just go in there blind, this shit's gonna take an extra hour and a half, and we're gonna fail, and then we're gonna be pissed. And we already have like a limited amount of days that we can usually even knock these things out. So I'm like, when we commit to a time, I have to be locked. I am ready to beat this thing immediately. So
I kind of liked having me and Kyle go as like a tag team duo because it's just like Tweedledee and Tweedledumbass like trying to fit like a fucking rectangle into a round hole, and we're just like trying to piece this thing together. And it was so classic GMB boys because it literally was like us not planning correctly. We didn't plan anything at all. We tried to make it and rush it at the end. We were doing okay, but we were still having a lot of hiccups. Things were not cut and dry. We
Fuck
were
the
just kind of
clock
flying
step.
by the seat of our pants. And listen, I've lived my whole life that way. I kind of enjoyed it. It felt fun to just
want
have
you to know, I
just
did
bounce
not.
ideas off of Kyle.
I was vibing. I thought it was funny.
The lack of control is fine for me if somebody else knows what they're doing. But the moment we hit that clock step and y'all ran into issues, it was eating me alive. I was
No,
like,
I know. I could
literally
tell 'cause you're like, just look up the guide right now. I was like, no,
Jumba, just watch the video. Like,
Yeah.
because I
Which
knew
I
like,
knew-
they don't know what to do.
I will say,
We
I'm
knew
like,
what
just
to
watch
do.
the
It was
damn
just
Jolts
weird.
video. I'm telling you, Milo's like not lost
Listen,
on
Milo
this one.
never did me wrong before.
Yeah.
That was the first time he
listen,
fucked me.
But
We
Milo
do have
let
to
me
blame
down on
Milo.
9.
If it
Milo
was a
let me down
scuffed
on 9.
guide, it does make it way worse. But
Milo
Yeah,
let
and
me
like-
down on 9. I only learned part of the 9 Easter egg by actually doing it because Milo was just not making sense. And he would be like, he literally says, he's like, I'm going to have all the screenshots. And if some are missing, there's going to be a link down below that has the extra ones. And the link down below did not have the extra ones. So he was letting me down with the Black Ops 4 ones.
Literally. No, I kind of liked me and Kyle. Like when he does Ancient Evil, I think I'm just gonna tag team it with him, and then we're just gonna like piece it together once again. I think like that.
No,
it was
y'all are
fun.
not going to do what we did for this one because I'll
No,
say
no,
this
I'm
right
not-
now
I'm
too.
not saying we're
I'll
gonna
give
win
y'all
the
credit
last
for
We're
game.
going
doing
to be
it.
way more
I'm not
prepared.
saying
Way
that.
more
Yes.
prepared.
Okay, because I'll
I'm
give
not
y'all
saying
credit that y'all did lead this one, but I want you guys to know I learned the entire Easter egg
I know,
before we
but-
actually did the run because of what happened.
I
so.
think if you didn't do that on the second day, we would have been fine. Because I like at that point, I just needed to understand the planet step again. I
Listen,
thought that's
I
where we
believe
were
that
going to
if
get
you
hung up.
guys know you're running it ahead of time, I trust that you guys will actually do it because I've seen Wyatt do it with Buried. I've seen Kyle do it before, like with Citadel. You like knew a lot of the shit. Like we have that clip of me saying, "Dude, when Kyle does the Easter egg steps, like I'm getting a little harder."
He's hot.
now."
He's hot.
But anyway, so I believe you guys can, but do not do what y'all did on Voyage,
no.
where it's like
No,
I just
y'all
wanna
literally
tag
just
team.
watched
We'll
the
more
video
prepared.
5 hours before. We just wing that shit.
No, I just want to tag team it with him just because it felt like my classic old zombies days where we would just like wing shit and figure it out.
Y'all can
back
tag
in
team
the
every
day.
single one of you.
And I hope you know, I'm tagging on Blood of the Dead specifically. This one, I was pretty hands off till about 30 minutes before we recorded. And can I just say 2 things are really funny. I knew about one of the lockdown steps where we have to go up on the platform. That one made me laugh because 2 times we're doing it at not so high rounds and I have a Helion salvo and you guys are all like, we gotta run. And I was kind of at the back of the line just kind of giggling as like one-shotting shit. And I just found that funny because everyone's in panic. I'm like, what are we scared about? Like, I literally cannot die right now. These fuckers can't kill me. So like, I found that really funny. And then after I'd see like some of you like struggling with Stokers, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't shoot, but then I'd be like, okay, let me kill the Stokers now, and then like let me do that because
Dude,
Hold
that
on.
gun's broken.
Who was struggling with Stokers?
I
There was a couple
struggling with
times where I
Stokers.
saw someone like because what we would do is like we'd have like 2 people look one way and 2 people look the other way, and
Yeah.
whoever I was looking at, I'd be like, let me see how long it takes him to shoot it out for a minute. I'm like, before I just one shot the
Well, 'cause
Stoker.
the
Let me
the
give him
Kraken
some
will
shots.
it'll 3-tap them. So it's like literally the
Yeah.
only time
Yeah.
on that step that I would struggle with them was when I had to just reload.
Reload your
That
Kraken.
was
I
it.
was used to
Otherwise, it was just dead.
I was used to the fire kraken when we played that one night just to kind of figure out the map, and like it like insta killed Stokers. And then I have the regular kraken, and now I'm having to 3-shot, and it took me a second to adjust. But I was getting my ass kicked by him early
And then-
until I figured that out. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not using the fire one anymore.
The only other thing I found funny about when we were talking about the whole setup, the planning, like you guys leading it, everything like that, is you guys must have explained the boss fight and how it worked like 14 times. I
I was
shit you
very
not,
worried about the final
I
step.
fucking zoned out every single time, and I was like, I'm just gonna get them when the stage starts to re-explain it, because like you guys would start talking again, and then like you'd get to the wipe section, I was like, fuck, I missed what he said about the wipe again. I can't believe
I was
that.
just-
So I was like,
I was
like the
very
hallway
worried
step,
about the wipe.
no, the wipe is important to be worried about. It never sat in my brain. When we got to the one where in the hallways, I got there, I was like, what are we doing here? This is fucking crazy. It's like, there's no room. I'm like, I know they explained it, but I need to learn again. And then go back to the footage. As soon as we get to the last stage, I'm like, okay, what happens with the wipe? Tell me what the wipe is, because I did not catch it any of the times you explained it.
No, yeah. The wipe ended up not even being even a slight
Because again,
issue.
2 healing salvos, I'm pretty sure we were one shot.
healing
Like
salvos.
it's stupid.
Yeah.
I would shoot one shot and then like it would just go away. I had to
Yeah.
ask, did
Yeah.
we do it every time?
Last
Well,
one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kyle.
we would unload he would unload a clip of Hilo and Salvo, and I'd unload mine, and then the eye would go away, and I was like,
Yeah.
I think we're good.
We never really had to worry about the animation. I think there was one time I saw him start to shake, and that was really about it. The last opinion here is Jay. Jay, your opinion on Voyage of Despair's Easter egg.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, like I have a control issue when it came to the moment that things were going wrong, and I was like, oh my god. And I'm like, the worst part of the first time too was I was holding the zombie, so that's why I was like, Jumbo, watch the video, like just start watching it, because the clock step was giving us problems. But anyway, I thought the clock step was actually pretty fun. Ultimately, like once you like know how to do it, and we were all involved. Once again, I love the fact that the most efficient way to do it was 3 people on it. I liked the planet step. I've heard a lot of people say that it's like one of the worst steps in like Easter egg history in terms of they don't like it. And maybe it's like harder on solo because you're having to do all the work of like being up top, shooting it, and then running down below. And it is time gated. But I also don't know if maybe on solo, if they give you a longer amount of time. But the way that we did it, and like I realized too, also, Wyatt, I think the issue that you had was because when they do spawn, they go to it. Because you weren't already down there, it was just way harder for you to get it. Because whenever I was down there the moment he shot it. So all I did was just insta grab it and I was gone. Like before they could all group up on it. Because they do start spawning like crazy. But I thought the planet step was still pretty fun because it once again, it required multiple people to be like actually efficient at it. So we had to do a couple different things. I liked, like Wyatt said, the teleport step because it required everybody. Ultimately, the thing that I just really enjoy about BO4 Easter egg so far is that it feels like everybody's involved. It really does. It feels like every single step is making an effort for everybody to have a part to play. And even in this one, like there were certain steps where I just didn't feel like I really did anything. Like honestly, in the boss fight, I feel like I did nothing outside of just straight up crowd control because ultimately the Kraken was just missing the boss in the final phase. And so maybe that's why like I didn't enjoy the boss fight that much because like it didn't feel that hard for me because like I didn't go down because I was just sitting there focusing on just crowd control the entire time because I knew I couldn't hit him at some point because I would shoot it at his eye like 6 shots in a row and not a single one would hit with the Kraken. And also you guys would kill it so fast that I was like, I literally reached a point where I was like, just keep Jumbo and Kyle alive. Like if I can do that,
I was getting really
we will win.
Pressed a lot. There were so many times I was like, oh, I'm dead. And then I'd be like, I don't know how I'm alive.
You also didn't have perks, which did make it a lot harder.
I lost Dying Wish. Winter's Wail was still there, but like what the actual biggest thing was I lost Speed Cola. Like you don't get the faster reloads without your perk.
Yeah.
So like then I was getting pressed because I'm like, okay, I need to shoot the zombies near me, and then I need to make sure I don't like miss this wipe phase, and it's taking too long to reload.
Yeah. So ultimately, though, I thought the boss fight was cool. It was probably my least favorite boss fight. Like it was harder than the 9 one. But also, I just think thematically, the 9 one was way cooler. I liked the 9 boss itself, like the guys riding the elephants a lot more. I really just think it just comes down to the 9 one. The arena is so big that you just have so much space to run that it felt easy. But like, I prefer, I'm just so big on the vibes and the atmosphere and all like the boss itself. Because the eyeball to me, like honestly, that whole boss fight, it really just felt like the tomb. And you described it, Wyatt, as the tomb beforehand, to where it's like, yeah, there is this eyeball, but when you think about the tomb boss fight, like all you really have to do is just avoid the lasers, and then you're just fighting like the zombies. Like that's really what you're doing, is you're fighting the zombies, and then there's those brief periods where you shoot the Sentinel artifact. That really just felt like this boss fight where it's like I'm fighting the zombies, and then I shoot the eyeball briefly, and then I go back to just fighting the zombies the rest of the time, and then I shoot the eyeball briefly, you know?
Yeah, it was like a Safeway tomb.
Like what
I don't even get the lore of the eyeball. I don't know. I
I thought the swimming animation though was sick underneath the Titanic. Then seeing the iceberg come out.
Dude,
it took us need to bring up.
We do need to bring out. Okay, so like when you enter into the boss fight, you get put in this like underwater. You get put into the iceberg basically, which I did think it was hilarious when the iceberg like floats up out of the sea, and I just envision the people playing this for the first time, and you're like, dude, we're on the Titanic, and like everybody knows the story of the Titanic, like the iceberg is the reason that it sunk, but now you're like, oh my god, we're gonna fight the iceberg. Like the iceberg it's a living being. Like it
Reparations
intentionally
for all the
took
people.
down the Tantic. Yeah, imagine.
We need to clip that moment where we couldn't start the boss fight
So,
because
yeah, that's
we were
what I was
all
gonna
just
say.
floating.
You teleport into the iceberg, and there's like a tree inside of it, and you see the Sentinel artifact, and you're just swimming. And luckily, you can just breathe forever. I was worried that we were gonna drown, and it would like be time gated. Luckily, they didn't do that. We didn't realize because it makes you have to swim up to it, and everybody has to interact with it, which we kind of guessed because that's what happened with all of the one step where you like teleport in to do the little like
Lockdown.
The
round-
lockdowns.
the lockdowns, yeah. And so we figured that was the case, but it's like nestled into the tree. So it's kind of hard for all of you to actually get close enough to do it. And so we started panicking and we thought, oh my God, like it's glitched. I had a moment where I flashed back to Shadows of Evil and I was like, we're going to have to restart this whole damn thing because it just won't start. And then luckily I looked it up on Google. There was one, shout out this guy like 6 years ago on Reddit who commented, no, you just all have to swim up and everybody interact with it. And I was like, okay, that guy said that's what you got to do. Let's just do it. We did it and it worked. But
That
for a
always
moment
happens.
there, I was panicking, bro.
There's always just a random one Reddit post from 10 years ago that has saved us in some zombies runs.
Yeah.
And
Because
that
even with
post, by the
Shadows
way,
of Evil,
2 comments on that entire post, and one of them was that guy. Shout out that guy.
even in
Shout
Shadows
out
of
that
Evil,
guy.
I found literally one Reddit post that explains it's the closest thing to the glitch that we experienced that time. The only thing about like the whole experience, like one thing I found funny with Jay is when I'm shooting the planets and like I'm learning my planets apparently throughout this thing, and I'm like, which is Mercury? And he's like, the guide says it's the wine one. The fuck does that mean? What's the wine one?
So I was looking. So the tough part was I pull up the Word doc and he's got pictures of all of them. And the Mercury one, he's just not aiming at anything. He's just aiming at space. And there's like a planet slightly
I can
off to
see
like
that.
the north of it. But when you look at that planet, that was like one of the other ones. So I was like, I don't know. So then eventually I go and I pull up the Notion guide. And this is just a straight up write up. It doesn't have any pictures. And it has like a little table that tries to like tell you about the planets. And it would tell you the color or some sort of distinctive factor about them. And for that one, all it says is wine. And I was like, it's wine. I don't like, this is all I have to tell you. Like I can pull up the video, I guess, but like, this is all I got, man.
I had to.
'Cause
That's how I did them after. I just had the video
Yeah.
and like I just look at what he was doing.
That was the only step I truly got annoyed because in one hand I have the controller because there's infinite zombie spawns, and in the other hand I have my phone, and I'm sitting here trying to like I'm going back and forth between this Word doc and this Notion doc, and I'm having to like find the links of both of them, and it was just so annoying while also trying to avoid zombies. Yeah, anyway, so we got it.
So
though. We did
that
eventually.
was the Shadows, or sorry, not Shadows of Evil, Voyage of Despair Easter egg. Now, overall thoughts on the map. Once again, I'll kick it off. I said before we had started the show and when we kind of did our first map ranking, we didn't add in Black Ops 4, but I'd always said that I had like a very good memory of Voyage of Despair, and that's held up for me. I really enjoyed this map. This might be blasphemous to say for some people, but I like it better than 9. I liked it better than 9 back in the day too when I had first kind of played Black Ops 4. I enjoy the environment a lot. I really love the Wonder Weapon, and although it wasn't as good as I remember it being back in the day, I do think it is still a decent Wonder Weapon. I like the fact that you can have the 4 variants, and they all have their own little things that they do. I think the Stoker's interesting too because it just adds in the element of the Titanic. And I was looking at some of the side Easter eggs that this map has. Some of them are fucking insane. Like they are crazy. And there's one I really want to try where you can basically fly on the outside of the map inside this old time car with a skeleton. I want to do that one so bad. But yeah, I just really enjoyed the map. The entire idea of being on the Titanic is cool, and I think you have added elements of whatever you really want to play. You can play close quarters if you want. It's got the state rooms, it's got the engine rooms, all that kind of stuff. Or you can play out in the open if you just want to go on the poop deck and just run circles for a while, see how high you can go. It's really up to you. You have plenty of choices there. So I really like it. I really enjoyed the map. The only thing I don't like about it is just a Black Ops 4 thing. Like I do feel like the pedestals for Pack-a-Punch are super weird. But once again, that's not really the map's fault. That's more just, Black Ops 4 and what they did with the Chaos storyline. I think it takes away from the Titanic environment a little bit. But once I learned the map, learned how the Grand Staircase worked and everything like that, really opened up my mind for it. And this would be an Easter egg that I would run back solo just one random day if I felt like doing so. So I really like Voyage of Despair. I'd probably put it above 9. I don't think it goes top 10, but I do think it's like hovering in that like 11 to 14 range for me. Jay, what did you think?
I also really liked the map. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. I didn't really play a lot of Voyage. Like I talked about, when BO4 came out, I didn't play any of the DLCs, but on the release stuff, I mainly played 9 as opposed to Voyage. So I heard a lot of people saying that Voyage was like the worst of the BO4 maps outside of obviously all the remakes, like the worst of the Chaos story maps. And so I thought it was going to be a lot worse. I actually really liked it. I thought the map was cool. I love the setting, like Kyle's talked about. It just feels so unique and different from 9 that I really love that. I don't really care for the Wonder Weapon, to be honest. It just felt kind of mid, and like it didn't feel like super crazy powerful and unique to me, especially when you pack-a-punched it. Like it makes it stronger, but I was hoping for more like effects to it almost. And then the upgrades I think are all just kind of buns. Like we played it, and like the lightning and the fire ones are good, but I think the water one is just like, if people say it's good for crowd control because it like slows zombies down, but the little tornado thing that it does is so small and it lasts so short amount of time that I didn't feel like it was very impactful. And then the poison one's just hot garbage. Like it just starts knocking them down. But even like the normal base version of the Wonder Weapon, you pack a punch it, the fact that there was just too many times where I would even notice that a zombie would get knocked down would kind of annoy me. The fact that the Helion salvo is significantly better at just killing everything would kind of annoy me, which I know that's just like a general BO4 thing. But at least like for the 9 one, the little scorpion deal, like that little glitch where you can like spam it, I thought was really cool. And then also just the charge shot that could like had like a unique effect. I feel like this Wonder Weapon gets let down by the upgrades, because those are supposed to be the unique effects and they just largely kind of suck.
And they cost a fuckload of money, by the way.
Yeah, the fact that they cost $6,000 I also think is dumb. Like,
cool, you can
I'm
get
not a
ammo
fan of
back
that.
from that though. Like it's like
That is
a
cool.
unique way of like, I know we complain about ammo crates, but it's a very costly investment to get your ammo back, and it's only for the one gun. So I thought it's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, so
honestly though, if I could make a trade-off there, I'd rather just be like $1,000 and you don't get ammo back. Because then I'd feel more likely to like swap them around personally.
Yeah. The one thing I will concede on the Kraken, like I said, I remembered it being a lot better than it actually was. But the one thing I will give the Kraken is like it's like strong suit is the amount of ammo it has, which isn't
Very
saying
much
a whole lot for a Wonder Weapon, but you do have a fuckload of ammo with that thing. It's like very rare that you run out of ammo with the Kraken.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Kyle, what did oh, go
real
ahead.
quick, final thing I do want to say about the map. The navigation is a little tough. It feels a little, and there are like, ultimately, like Jumbo made fun of us for that one time we went to the dining hall. There are moments where like, it is also that we just haven't mastered it. But I feel like for the most part, I pretty much learned everything. It's just that one little like stairwell that goes on, like that's closer to the poop deck that goes down to the dining hall. That's like the one that I just always never really took advantage of. But pretty much everything else, I feel like I truly grasped most of where everything was and like was able to navigate it. It still just feels a little tedious to get a lot of places. And I know there's teleporters, but I don't know. Ultimately, the map, just the navigation of it itself felt sometimes a little rigid as opposed to some other maps flow a lot better. It wasn't a deal breaker for me because I feel like the atmosphere, the sheer size of the map I thought was really cool. Like I like that there's so many different areas to go to. But yeah, it sometimes it just felt a little unnecessarily tedious to like get around.
Yeah, what'd you get, Kyle?
I mean, overall, I think the map is great. I think that the atmosphere is really cool. I think that, the Wonder Weapon is like a cool take for the map because, like, you're on a boat. Like, what's better to fucking get on a boat than you get a fat ass cannon? Like that's just fucking cool. All right. And it's even cooler when you do the Easter egg and the Kraken comes out of the fucking ocean and hands you the fucking gun. Like, that's even more cool. So it's like,
bro, like imagine the elemental effects, like the fire one. You're literally shooting a giant fireball. If they just made those better and toned up the effects, it'd be so much cooler.
That I agree with Jay. I think that like the upgrades to them are kind of ass, and so if the upgrades were just better for them, I think the map would be so much better.
Mhm.
But I do like the Kraken. Like you said, I think it has 118 shots
Dude.
in reserve, and you get like an 18 round clip, and so it's just like you're just shooting cannon fire off.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a cool weapon, even though it kind of sucks. I think it's just a cool weapon. Like, you know, and this is what I'm saying about like BO4 compared to BO6. Like BO6, we got a lot of repeat wonder weapons. BO4, every map is a different wonder weapon, and you get one, and you're like, I can't play this weapon on any other map. And you go there, and you're like, this is actually kind of sick that I get to pull out a full fucking cannon and blast things away with it.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. And then I thought the boss fight was fun. Honestly, I feel like the Helio Salvo makes that boss fight just way too fucking easy. But I think it's going to be that way for every
Yeah.
single boss fight we get into.
Yeah.
I mean, the Helio Salvo is just going to make it fucking cake. Because like Jumbo would unload his clip, I'd unload mine. He'd be done, and then we'd just move on to the next one.
I thought I was doing the hallway step wrong when I would like I'd shoot down the hallway. There's
No,
sometimes
you
I shot one shot and it would end. And I'm like,
Bro.
are you redoing it?
No, you're making
Go
it way
rewatch
easier
that.
for us.
Go rewatch my recording of that entire step. There's literally a point where I just give up on trying to even help. And I just sat in a room and just survived because I was
Yeah.
like, first off, he just wasn't spawning on my side.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to go like intentionally run over there because also every time he'd pop up, he'd be like, one shot him. He's gone. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just sit here and wait for him to finish.
It was spawning on left for a while and then suddenly just only came to the right.
He only went right.
It's funny because Jumbo was shooting him so much that I didn't really even
Yeah.
shoot my Helion Salvo. I was just covering Jumbo. So
Yeah.
I was just
Literally,
like,
three of
I
us
was
are
like,
just trying to live.
Yeah,
And
I
Jumbo's
said,
just like, I got him.
I said, Kyle, I'm like, I'm gonna need you to swap in here. I'm almost out of ammo, and then like I would just go in there and shoot one shot. So like I only had 7 shots left or something like that, or like 8 shots, but I just didn't run out of ammo because I just needed one shot. So
yeah. You just peek around the corner,
Yeah.
one shot, and then just like go back. And then I was like, all right, now we just wait. And then we'd go back again and shoot. And I was like, okay, we're fine.
Yeah, and Kyle, once again, back to your point on the Kraken, and I think we forget this because a lot of times I feel like with wonder weapons, there's not a whole lot that you can kind of just sit there and just shoot forever. Because a lot of those wonder weapons, like they're really good, but they do have like that ammo limit, that ammo capacity. There are some that are like, you know, they last forever and they're more of a charge up. But then once again, you do have to stop at a certain point. The fun part about the Kraken is you're just fucking unloading
You're just
cannonballs
ripping.
left and right, and you don't really have to worry about it ever. You can just keep going and going and going, and that's a fun part of it. Jumbo, your thoughts on Voyage overall? I know you played it the least.
yeah, I mean, I still got like at this point 4 runs in it. And like we had that one really long run that we did as kind of like just got practicing. We were just like playing, not really doing the Easter egg, but just like playing. And I mean, I think you guys covered a lot of the sentiments. I liked it. I might like 9 a little bit better, but I wonder if my bias goes in there because I learned 9 throughout, like through and through how to do all the setup and everything. Like, but like my thing is, even in the comparison to them, it's really cool that they're different. 9 is essentially a circle. And like almost even like a figure eight, like you could loop around the map on the inside, on the bottom, and then like they all like have like their spots to come right back into the middle. Whereas this is like we were saying, it's like it's 4-tiered. There's some open areas. There's like, you know, really tight spots when like you're walking on the bridge and the staterooms and everything like that you don't want to spend too much time in there. So like every different part of the ship feels really different. It was like confusing to learn at first. I still don't know where the millionaire suites are all like exactly, and the staterooms, despite being right in the entrance, I don't fucking fully know how to get to those when I'm on the other side of the ship. But aside from that, for what I did learn, I thought was fun and enjoyable. Like it was pretty cool that like, you know, like by the end when like a lot of times you guys would say like the mail room, and I wouldn't know what that was, but then by the end I got, okay, mail room front of the ship, I need to be there. Right.
There's a point in the VOD where if you go watch me back, because I had the stateroom electric thing, there's just like multiple times where I'm just trying to get to them, and they're literally right next to me.
Yeah.
But I would like go up the stairs because I was so used to going up the stairs, I just threw. and I look like such a dumbass.
The only part I never grabbed for the shield, I would go grab them while you guys are doing the clock step, was the one in the staterooms, because I wasn't even sure if it was open. Because the first run, Wide's like, no, we haven't opened it yet. But then later on, I was like, it's like one of the first rooms. I think we did open it. I don't know. I have no idea when we opened it. Like, eventually the part would just get picked up, and I would just hope I didn't have to go grab it. Yeah, I would just hope I didn't have to go to the staterooms, or then eventually, if like I did, then I was like, okay, I guess it's time to fucking learn. There was one time we had to run there for something, and I was like, I was behind Jay, and I'm like, I'm just gonna like be quiet and stay really close, and that's how I got there. But I figure it out. I think that's like, it gives like the map some interesting things like to it. I think sometimes it was tedious to run front to back if I didn't want to like go through the teleporter. But yeah, overall enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I think it had a lot of character. Of like the wonder weapon, how it ties into that is great. I agree with all the same things Jay said though about like because it was just underwhelming, it loses like some points for me. But I just also thought the whole vibe of the gun just is really cool. Like, it's a cannon, it rotates like with the shots, so that's sick, rather than just being some different form of like a pistol.
And also the fact that all of your team can get one adds to it. You know, like, it is ass. Let's just be honest. That seems like a
Black Ops 4 thing though, because like we could always get them out of the box.
Every map.
Yeah, I haven't decided how I feel about that all yet. You know, because like, I hate when like I'll fucking flat out say it. There's some Black Ops 1 runs where one of you would get the fucking, or Black Ops 2 and 3 runs, one of you guys would get the wonder weapon. I'd be like, fuck, I want to use the paralyzer. Or guess what? I realized Gorod Crovey, for some reason, the spawn rate of hitting the fucking getting the ray gun Mark III is really high on that map. Like, it's like a known thing. I realized that after like our first 2 runs where I got it on my first try. I would book it to the fucking box to get that shit first. And guess what? Our Easter egg run, guess who had it? Because I would go there first and just spin box. So there's part of me, it's like, I like that, but there's also part of me like, it just gets really easy if everyone has a wonder weapon. So I don't know how I would feel about it. I'm in between.
Yeah, I think I think that's why they purposely make the wonder weapons weaker in BO4, because everybody can get one. Whereas like on other maps, only one person gets it.
Not to mention, there's been plenty of times too.
Yeah, plus your specialists, and the specialists are OP. So I mean, like, there's plenty of times where like we've played old zombies and like somebody gets the wonder weapon, you're like, fuck, man, like I wanted to use that shit.
I don't know the last time I've used the paralyzer. Actually, I don't know if I've ever used it. Like, because I didn't play Black Ops. I never played Buried when I was like younger.
Set that up.
So it's kind of sick, though. I feel like paralyzed.
I know, but I get to watch Kyle fly around, and like there was one time I needed to get somewhere. I'm like, how do I get there? And I'm like, okay, let me see where Kyle goes. I'm like, okay, well,
the flying is cool.
I'm like, he just went on the ledge, so now I need to learn how to do this.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm like, now I need to find the stairs.
Yeah.
I was watching a speedrunner, and I don't know how I didn't know this. You can use the paralyzer, you know, like where the area where the bank, the bar, that little open area is. You can use the paralyzer in the middle of that, shoot up, and you'll land inside those little tunnels up top. I just didn't even know that. That was like, I watched a speedrunner do that, and I was like, that was badass. But yeah, that is Voyage of Despair. You know what's crazy?
One final thing that I did remember, and I meant to say it earlier. You know how I was worried with the Catalyst zombies, like the electric, the fire, all those guys? I was worried that they would feel sucky because they're on every map, which is sort of like a modern zombies thing. And I still don't love that they're on every map, but ultimately they're not like that oppressive, so it doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't feel like you notice them that much.
They just feel like a regular zombie, right? Yeah. Like, it doesn't feel like a mangler, which is like really getting in the way.
Yeah, and the Blight Fathers I feel like are rare enough that like you don't really notice them that much either. The only thing that I did think was cool from BO4's perspective is both Easter eggs now, and we'll see if they continue to do this, have used them intentionally in unique ways. 9 had the code step involving them, and then Voyage had the step with the outlets where we had to get each one of them to a specific spot, and then also you can use them for the upgrade for the wonder weapon, which we talked about. Those are kind of mid.
Well, also, that's a big part, the poison one for that one step.
Yeah, so like it. Oh yeah, even with the you got to shoot the pipes up there. 9 also factors
them in with like it's not the core Easter egg, but the challenges. There's some challenges that like factor them in.
Yeah, you got to stop like the catalyst transformation from happening. So I do appreciate the fact that they took the one thing that feels truly homogenized about this game, and they've uniquely integrated them to both Easter eggs and maps so far. And I've enjoyed that for what we've seen so far. We'll have to see what happens with Ancient Evil. We'll have to see what happens with Dead of the Night, because I'm not sure how they're going to involve them. But if they continue to do that, because both those steps that has involved them, like we talked about it on 9, that was my favorite step, was that code step. And then the lockdowns, I mean, it's not my favorite step for that one, but like the lockdowns were still interesting, you know? So
I don't think I can
bear
bear to
that.
go. Like, I know that Black Ops 7 is not supposed to have them, but I don't know if I'll ever boot up Black Ops 6 for the sole purpose that I don't want to see vermin or parasites. Like, I just can't.
Bro.
I can't. And I'll take fucking Black Ops 3 parasites, but not the Black Ops 6 ones.
Dude, I hated them on Shadows of Evil, bro.
Yeah, they were bad there too. They
so,
suck.
so annoying. And so the fact that they put them on every map was terrible. But anyway.
So that was Voyage of Despair. You know what's crazy, boys, is we all really, I think for the most part, enjoyed the map for at least to a certain level, and it still might be the worst map of the Chaos storyline, because we have 2 bangers coming up in Dead of the Night and Ancient Evil. There's still 2 real good maps from Chaos. Then we get to go back into the main storyline, which should be a doozy in itself. So we'll be keeping you guys posted with those ones. Next one on the docket is Dead of the Night. So we're going to be getting ready to do that one. So keep your eyes peeled for that. We did live stream this one, and we live streamed the last one as well. So should be doing that for this one.
Who's heading up Dead of the Night?
Who is supposed to be Dead of the Night? You want to do it?
If Kyle's doing it, I can help him.
Yeah, I was like, I could do this one and Ancient Evil.
So if I did this one, you don't help me? Like what?
Yeah, I wouldn't help you. Nah, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
For Dead of the Night, I will say the one benefit you guys do have is that we already know how to open up the map and do the Wonder Weapon. I know how to do both of those things already. So
I didn't know how to do. So remember, I didn't play that game with you guys. I couldn't get in.
Yeah.
I already forgot.
I know how to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I also know how to get the silver bullet, which is also an upgrade you can get. So I know how to do all those things. So at least like the random small tedious stuff I know. So it's just you gotta learn the steps.
I mean, I'm gonna try to learn it. I see if I have a little bit more time than like Voyage. Voyage, I just like didn't have time to get on and do it.
I had a lot of fun like doing this one and like knowing steps. So I don't even really care.
I'm telling you, when you know the Easter egg steps, like it makes the game. This is why I've always said my thing about I wish you would learn Origins, because I feel like and not to go into that whole discussion, but I feel like whenever you know everything about the map, it's a whole different experience. And I appreciate BO4 for that. Maybe this is why I like BO4, because I know some people still are gonna hate on it, like to this day, like potential voicemail that we might listen to, even though we definitely don't record this out of order.
No, we don't.
But I've always been a guy who likes knowing the setup and the complications of the map, and BO4 does that for me. So
yeah, no, it was fun. It was much more fun than 9 for me. Like just knowing certain steps, and like I didn't get all of them right all the time, but like just knowing them and having like the ability to know them was fun. So
yeah.
All right, well, ladies and gents, we are going to hit a quick little break, and then on the other side, we're going to get in and go into our draft. It's going to be super fun. This one is interesting. You're going to have to really listen to the breakdowns on this one. We're making our own horror movie fresh off of Halloween. It's been more than a couple weeks, but that's all right. We're doing it anyway. And then after that, we're going to round out the voicemails and send you guys into the launch of Black Ops 7 Zombies. Let's get it. Okay, boys and girls, draft time. It is draft time. Now listen, this draft might be a little bit outdated, but we're going to rip it anyway. Before we get into breaking down what the draft is, let's first go over to the results of the last draft. Jay, do you got the results?
I do. I had to take a victory lap here for the football team. Honestly, I'm just glad the Jumba didn't win, because I feel like that'd be downright un-American if the Canadian Football League was able to take one over us. I took the win. We had Kyle in second place, Jumba in third, Richie in fourth, and Wyatt, you were dead last with literally not a single vote.
Yeah, you guys get your victory lap in right now.
You let a Canadian beat you.
No, here's the thing.
We only have 3 downs.
I've realized now that
you can kick the ball through the fucking field goal while running in the CFL.
I didn't get a vote because now it confirms that, you know, our listeners, they just don't know ball. And that's okay with me. I'm
No,
fine
there's
with
definitely ball knowers.
I'm fine with
there's
that.
ball knowers.
I'm cool with it now.
Yeah.
You know, it
No,
took me a
when
little
I-
bit to realize it, but I'm cool with it now.
Your team's average age is like 55.
Life experience. A
Yeah,
lot of
that-
grizzled veterans
I
out there
think
on
that
the
might
football
even be
field.
too young.
A lot of
It
Like,
might
for
grizzled
his
be.
veterans.
average age, yeah.
Sarah Michelle Gellar's doing a lot
Yeah,
of heavy lifting,
yeah,
bringing
yeah.
that thing down.
Yeah.
You know what? Our listeners are sexist. I'm starting to think. That's what I'm
They
starting
could
to
be.
think.
No,
I
Kyle's got
did
a
take no
woman
women,
on his.
but Kyle
Well,
got
hold on,
second and
time
he
out.
took
Got a
women.
woman.
I got
Yes.
second. I took a woman.
Yeah, and
but
I got third, and I
But
had
you also have dick riders. That, you know, that's the
That's crazy.
distinction.
You know what I think this is? And I brought this up to Wyatt the other night. I think this is confirmation that leaving the GMB cord means that Wyatt only does good in drafts because of Wyatt Glazers that exist on the GMB side of things.
Not true.
And that over here in Packapod, there are no Wyatt Glazers because all time, once again, I'm tracking the stats. All time, you're the worst performer across.
Yeah, you
every
got
okay,
you went
okay.
back to back.
But here's the
like
thing.
2 last places.
We look at me with with jaded glasses because I literally lost one of my drafts on a rock paper scissors. Are we forgetting
But
that?
you like that
there
one.
was a rock
the vote,
paper scissors.
If we that one also the vote, we only had like 10
It wasn't a
votes.
rock paper scissors. It was a vote.
Or
No,
a
Also,
vote,
no, yeah,
sorry.
we didn't rock paper scissors. They
voted here.
voted. They
Okay, it was a
voted for
vote.
me.
voted.
Yeah, it was a
We
vote.
voted.
So
That's
it's like
tiebreaker.
Yeah.
I'm literally at like if that vote goes a different way, it looks completely different. It looks
But
completely different.
when we all finished that draft after I picked the witch, we all knew I was winning that. Like, come on.
I don't know. I didn't think so.
I had a solid team, so
Also,
I don't know.
your
I don't
monkey
know
pick,
what's going
I
on.
still think was debatable
Yeah,
because you
I
just took
couldn't-
my monkey, and I
Yeah.
thought no duplicates, but they agree. I put my hand up and said they can pick, and they let you
When
do
we
it.
go back
then
to
that's
that,
on
you
you
both
guys.
had,
That's not on
you know,
me.
No, when we go back to that, you both had the monkey, which is just like so. You just that negates it. You switch it out, and then Jay's
But I
got the
took it
witch,
I
and
had
like
the witch.
yeah, I'm bringing.
I had a dog I was taking home.
Yeah,
See, this is what happens.
realistically, I
This
think
is what
Kyle should
happens.
have won that
and I
draft.
want the listeners to listen here. It's like
took the
they
Mangler for your
the
slump
listeners
buster,
gave
bro.
their votes. They gave their votes. They said he deserves to be up there, and it was the people on the show
On the
who voted
lowest
against.
voted
Yeah, lowest
poll
voted
we've
poll.
ever had,
It-
because
that
that was
doesn't
right when we
matter.
started the Discord.
Championship, like, are you going to say your championship doesn't matter? Because then let's do that. So then
That's
Jay's
the thing.
champ-
You
no,
didn't
so
win a
then Jay's
championship. I
doesn't
did.
matter.
I did.
So that-
I
no, but if
won.
you're
He
saying
won
it's
the
the
vote.
lowest
Like, we
voted
took a
one,
vote in this
then
court.
you won when there was plumbers and carpenters. That one
Yeah,
doesn't
sure.
count. You have
And I
no
won the most
championship.
recent, buddy.
You have,
and I won the
okay,
most
but
recent.
that one doesn't count. So now you just got the one. You
I
can't,
still
you
have
can't
more
have it
victories
both
than
ways,
you, buddy.
You can't say that one was the lowest voted one and you
No,
won and
I
then
can.
claim it.
I
and
can
then- No, you
because
can't.
I
No,
believe.
you cannot.
I believe.
You cannot have it both
believe
ways.
if we reran that exact draft today, I would win by the votes.
Well,
There's no way you deserve to tie me, straight up.
well, these are just
The witch
hypotheticals. We're
pick
just throwing
clears.
things out there.
The witch pick clears, buddy. Clears.
I don't.
I-
Okay, you know what? I concede.
You're just upset
you know,
that your peers did not vote for you.
I
That's what you're upset
concede.
about.
It. You know, it is what it is.
Just put it
And
on
listen,
the tab, bro.
It's
Fuck
not.
it.
It's not
Listen,
just
Just
about
put
dubs.
it on my
It's not just
tab.
about dubs.
Just
I'm
put it
keeping
on my
track of all
tab
the stats.
because clearly,
Lifetime,
what
you
I'm
have
learning
the
about in
least
life
total
is
votes.
you can have it both ways.
Hold on.
That's what it
hold on.
is.
Let's,
That's what I've learned
here's what we'll
today.
do. Let's say hypothetically we removed that draft entirely. Lifetime, you would have 6 total votes in the last 4 drafts that we have done if we remove the first one.
Hey, yo, my boy,
If
that's
we include
ass.
the first one, you have 10 total votes, which is the lowest across every single person, despite the fact that you actually are the only person to have never had a pick outside of the top 3.
Okay, but
You've
we
had the 101
confirmed-
2 times.
We have
2
confirmed
times.
in the past that the time I got the number 1 overall pick, it
One of the
actually
times.
was not like an ideal position to be in.
One
So
of the
it's like,
times.
this is the part that I get confused on is you're like, yeah, you know what? That actually wasn't a great spot. But then when it comes to when the cameras come on, everybody's like,
I'm
"Ah,
just saying,
you
you've
know,
been top 3.
You know, you're
all,
ass.
all 4 drafts we've done, you have had the top 3 pick. So you can't use that excuse for every single time. You
What
can't.
I never used the excuse of like my draft position.
I'm saying that you have had a top 3 pick all 4 drafts, and you have the least votes of all time.
Who's
So-
second? Like who's second least?
Richie.
No, fuck you guys. I don't care about stats anyway.
But Richie,
See, all of a sudden,
but
stats don't
Richie-
matter now. Here we go. You know what? I'm glad that I am bearing this cross because you know what? It is what it is. It is what
Hey,
it
I've
is.
been robbed though. Okay,
I will
I've
look
had
myself in the
good
mirror and
ones.
I will get better from this.
Richie has had. I mean, Richie had a second place where he had 8 total votes, and that's more. That's basically as many as Wyatt almost has lifetime.
but it's
So-
not.
True.
But it's not. So that's
I
what
mean,
it is.
it's not. It's 2 votes away from your lifetime total. So
So there it is. But you know
no,
what?
no,
we
no.
can
There
discredit,
is no.
we
There
can
it
discredit
is.
me all we want.
anyway,
I was
Anyway,
one singular vote
I
away
won.
from a win. And that's that. That's that. That's that.
But
I was a
the issue
finalist.
is you could say that, but what if that singular vote went to me?
Well, it did. But also, I think that's jaded based on the people on the show.
It doesn't
No,
matter
that
if you
was our
win by
first
an
ever
inch or a
draft.
mile. Winning is winning.
Mhm.
And here's the thing too, Wyatt. You better be happy that we didn't include the original GMB drafts that we did over in that cord, because I don't think you won any of those either, if I'm not mistaken.
What,
Yeah, you
what
might
is
have had
what-
one.
should
You
we
might have had
rename
one,
the
yeah.
show? What do we? Are we? Is it just roast me to start off every draft segment? Is that what we're gonna do every single time?
This should be a
All right.
wake up
Well,
call that you
I
need
mean,
to
All
draft
right,
better,
I need
buddy.
to. I just need
Getting-
to
you
internalize
went-
that so I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get hit over the head with a sledgehammer before we even start the next draft.
You gotta wake up. Start drafting better, man. You took
Listen,
Russman. You took Stolinger in the 3rd round.
Yeah, that was
people don't
ass.
understand and realize the bite the kneecap reference. That was a reference for me.
He
That
was
was
saying
a
that
Dan
about his
Campbell reference for
defensive
me.
line.
Nobody
You put him at
remembers
tight
Jerome the
end.
Bus Bettis and how dominant he was
Sam
as a running
Laporta's
back.
not biting any kneecaps.
Honestly, like looking
pretty
back at when the vote polls were still open, and I looked at his team, and I was like, "Who the fuck picked this shit?" And I remembered it was you.
I did.
So-
I looked at that too, and I was like, "What the fuck? They're all old."
All right, are we
And
good?
you know
Are we
what?
good?
I think
are we good?
You know,
Are we
I'm
good?
pissed off because with how bad your draft is, like you should have just left Sarah Michelle Gellar for me. Like couldn't even get her in for my
I got
draft.
it.
app.
I got it, guys. Are we good to go? Are we
Yeah, I think we're good to go, bro.
All
I
right,
think we're
thank
ready.
fucking God. Let's move on into the next draft
I just
here.
want you to start showing up, man. That's all I want.
So
Show up
we're
today.
good now. Are we good now?
Show up today.
Are we good
Show
now?
up today. Show up today.
Are we good now?
I'm good.
Okay.
Are
All
we gonna
right.
perform?
Let's
Tyler,
go to
you
the
good?
next draft here.
I'm ready, bro.
Congratulations to Jay for winning this draft. Let's get into the next one. Now, obviously, Halloween has already passed, but it was too good of an opportunity to pass up to not have a draft that involves Halloween and really my favorite part of Halloween, which is the horror movies. So, what we are going to do today on today's draft is we're going to get in here and draft ourselves a horror movie. We're going to make our own. Now, here's what we're going to have to do. We have a lot of freedom in this draft, and a lot of this is going to come down to, I mean, some people might not listen and they might just look at the poll that's inside the Discord, but the explanation for the people on the show will be big for the people who do listen, and will go based off of those explanations. So we're going to have 3 picks that are absolutely required. We need 1 zombies character that is your main character in your movie. You need 1 location, meaning 1 map where your movie is going to take place. And then you need 1 special zombie to be the monster in your film. After that, there are 3 open slots to fill out the rest of your cast. These characters' roles are totally up to you. It can be like a villain. It could be a love interest. It could be a sidekick. It can be anything you want it to be. I have one question, Jay, because I thought about this before we kicked off the draft. In the 3 free picks, are we able to pick more special zombies, or is it just zombies characters?
What would you guys like to do?
I think
if
more
you-
special zombies is fine.
If you can be creative with a special zombie and work them into the cast, I think that should be fine.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
There was
Cool.
one other thing
Fuck it.
Jay and I talked about before, and we
Oh,
were
yeah.
thinking no Call of the Dead crew. At
The
all.
Call of the Dead crew are literally horror movie icons.
Fuck you
So I feel
guys.
like
Oh my God,
I
that
feel like we
ruins
need
my
to.
whole thing.
I think we have to veto that off rip.
Yeah.
Because I mean, think about it. You could just pick Sarah
guys,
Michelle Gellar,
yeah.
and then
Who
just
I was
build
gonna
the
pick.
movies that
Which
I
we
know,
all
and then
knew.
you could just
Like, we
build
all
the movie
talked
she's
about,
in,
like, yeah, we all
which
talked about
removes
the
any
fact that, like,
creativity here. I feel like the whole goal is you got to be creative with your picks. Those
Are we
characters
making our own movie, or are we doing
You're
like
making
a
your own
movie.
movie. You
Like
can
our own-
base it off of a real movie if you want, but
Yeah,
it's your own
especially
movie.
because like
I don't want to see
It's
any
not
of
like-
Kyle's movies.
it's not like Mob of the Dead where it's like they're
You wish,
actors, but
bitch.
they have a character in the game. They're straight up just their actor. Like,
And they're also straight up like supposed to be just horror movie icons. Like
Yeah,
Robert
yeah,
Englund is
exactly.
freaking, Freddy Krueger, Sarah Michelle Gellar's Buffy, So
Okay.
I think those have to be vetoed off rip.
All right. So that ruins my entire movie. But that's okay because I will have to pivot.
but
we
see,
will
like
pivot.
you shouldn't be basing your entire movie around Sarah Michelle Gellar. Because what if you don't get the 101? Then it ruins your movie.
I
If
have
you
no-
got
I
fifth
mean-
draft pick,
Huh?
if you got the fifth draft pick, the whole Call of Dead crew could be picked on the first round. If that's
listen,
how, if
listen.
you
I'm
want to
saying
go.
like there was a chance. There's always a chance you have to pivot. I just wish I would have known that ahead of time. I didn't hear
I mean,
about
we
that till
decided
right
this
now.
like I guess like an
So,
hour ago.
Yeah, it's fine.
I thought I
It is all
mentioned
good.
that to you when we thought of the idea, Wyatt, because I was literally like, they're horror movie icons. Like I feel like that's like obvious that they
When
have
we
to be
talked about it,
banned.
And that makes it more
the length
powerful, though.
the length that we talked about it was just the three characters because I didn't even bring up the special zombies in the extra three slots. But that's fine. We'll
we
figure it
can
out.
leave them if everybody's in agreement, but I think
No,
they're a
it's
little
fine.
overpowered.
No.
Because I
Yeah,
feel like
I
if you
get
get
loose.
Sarah Michelle Gellar and then you build freaking Buffy, you know what I mean? Like it's just a little OP.
There,
I mean,
there's,
I wasn't
there's
gonna build
pivot
Buffy.
points. There's pivot
Even if you
points.
don't build Buffy, like it just weights whoever gets like top 3 picks so hard.
Yeah, those characters are very like they're already in horror movies, so they're already like so associated with that they're so strong, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. So
All right.
that confirms it then. So we can use the special zombies in the extra 3 slots. No Call of the Dead. Are we ready for the draft position?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
Rip it.
Jay, you want to hit that?
All right. Once again, I'm gonna hit it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. The 101. Kyle.
There it
Which
is.
I think is this Kyle's first time? The 101.
This is the
Kyle's
first time,
first time.
baby.
It's Kyle's
The
Yeah.
only people who have never had the 101 are Kyle and Jumba. Kyle just got it. The 102, Wyatt.
Nice.
The 103, me. The 104, Jumba. The 105, Richie.
Yeah,
Okay,
go
Richie's
figure.
back. Richie's back. He's
Richie's
so back.
They have me in like hard mode every week.
All right, Kyle.
I put you in hard
You
mode.
got me in hard mode every week.
That's hot. Kyle, you're up to bat.
Fuck. I don't really think there's a one of one. I think you just kind of go with what you want. So,
Yeah. While he's thinking, I've actually been 4-5-5-4. Like that's how this is gone.
That's actually hilarious.
It is a little bit brutal, the picks that Jumba's had. But some of those, like we
Hey,
talked about,
one
too.
week I won off it, so we'll just have
Yeah.
to just dig from the trenches again.
All right. I think I'm just gonna take this because I like this actor. Then we're just gonna roll from there. I'm gonna take Floyd Campbell.
Floyd Campbell. Okay.
Okay,
From
so now
Shadows
here's
of
the
Evil.
question. Will he be your main character or a side character?
He's gonna be a side character.
Ooh,
Okay.
Interesting.
Side character first.
Interesting. Okay.
Taking
I'm
a
pick-
side character first.
Yeah.
Why does it say cast member?
That's
Oh.
side character.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and go with Scarlet Rhodes. That is my
You
main
bitch.
character.
Get fucked.
That's annoying because that's what I was gonna do. I'm gonna go with at the 103 Maya for my main character. I'm upset, Wyatt, that you took Scarlet. I was pretty locked that I was gonna get her.
I'm just
She
pondering
wasn't
here
on the
which pick
board
I should go
until
first with.
Call of the Dead was banned.
I know why you took her. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to give any strats away here. But
Oh,
I want
I guess I'm not following the strats. Honestly, I don't even feel confident with this one. I'm gonna take a cast member too, actually. And I'm gonna go with Ultimus Nikolai.
Is he your main or a side?
Side character, cast member.
If you guys want to explain when you pick them too, you absolutely can in terms of the role.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's tough because I don't know if your movie is fully decided yet.
I kind of want to
So
save my.
You can save it if needed. That's
Yeah.
why I've saved my explanation. But if
Yeah.
you want to, go ahead.
I need to in
saving
case I
mine.
need to
I'm
pivot.
saving mine.
I need to in case I need to pivot.
Yeah.
Same.
All right, Richie. I think you have back-to-backs here.
This is so fucking ass now. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten Sarah Michelle Gellar anyway, but
No, you wouldn't have.
actually, you don't know that because
No,
if
you wouldn't have
maybe you
because of
don't
the
remove Call-
103. I would have
maybe-
taken her.
Maybe you don't remove Call of the Dead from the picture, and then for some reason, the random generator puts me in first as the 101. I don't know. It seems kind of...
Let me tell you, Rich, you wouldn't have got her.
Fuck. Shut up. You don't know. All right. So... Bro, this is so hard. Main character, we're going Madame Morella.
Okay.
Everybody's trying to get a leading lady. It seems like a leading lady.
I mean, that's horror movies, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I am
too rich.
going to take... I am going to take a map.
Okay, first map off the board. This is big because I feel like the map is what really kind of can determine what your movie's going to be.
I am going with Shangri-La.
Oh.
Shangri-La.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Okay. Back to Jumba.
Okay. This might backfire on me partially, but I think I could still roll with it. Can I pick the same character from a different timeline or crew? Or
No.
is that off limits this time?
Well, actually, I don't know. What do y'all feel about that?
like,
I think if
I
it
were to
makes a
go-
good movie, it makes a good movie.
because like I
Yeah,
kind
Dark
of yeah.
Ether. Yeah, I mean, you could take Dark
Okay.
Ether Nikolai, I guess.
Question 2. I'm assuming we're doing this, but we're just doing Treyarch, right? Are we including
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
non-Treyarch? Or okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Just
wanted to make
Treyarch.
sure that we're all on the same page before anyone tries.
Nice.
All right, then I'm gonna roll with dude. Okay, do I just want to do him as my main character? Or do I do him as another cast member though? I'm gonna take
That's such a
Primus
bitch
Nikolai.
pick. That's such a bitch pick.
Why? Let me
I
know.
just don't like it.
That's just-
No, you're a bitch pick. Because he was going to take it next. That's fine.
And so, is this cast member as well or main character?
I'll do him as the main character.
Oh shit! he's
Okay,
gonna do
so
some
we're doing,
crazy
I was-
shit.
I was
Evil
debating
twin,
which-
Solid,
yeah,
solid,
There's
solid,
something
solid. I
there.
like it, I
He's
like it, I
cooking
like it.
something.
We'll
He's
see where it
cooking
goes.
something. Okay, back to me. And this is tough. But I think I'm gonna go with a map. Here's a thought. Do I go for I'm gonna ask you guys, do I go for the safe pick or the risky pick?
Risky. You
I
always go
think,
for risk.
I think you go risky because it's a draft where you can explain yourself fully and you have full
Okay.
creative control. If it was not
alright,
that way,
alright.
Yeah.
I'd go safe.
I'm taking Ashes of the Damned.
Oh shit! A map we haven't
It's
even
risky.
seen yet.
It's risky
Okay.
because we haven't even fully played it. But
Oh my
we'll
God.
see.
I literally had to
We've
figure out what Ashes of the Dam was. It's the fucking new one.
It's the new map for BO7.
Well,
We've seen people play it. We haven't seen the full map get played, but we've seen a lot of it get played. So that's why it's risky. But I'm gonna take Ashes of the Dam.
Okay. All right. It is back to me, I believe.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take as a cast member Billy Handsome. Kyle, you are now on back-to-backs here.
Oh, shit! All right.
Goddamn.
Goddamn. What do I want?
Jumba's mom.
Got it.
I don't know what Chumba's mom looks like.
That's fucked
That's
up.
beside the
matter.
fucking
That's
point,
fucked
Kyle.
up.
Jesus.
That is
It's
such a
beside the
fucking
point.
crazy
It's your
call.
friend's mom. It
That's
just
a
shouldn't
fucking
matter.
crazy call.
I'm just
Wow.
kidding.
Wow,
I'm
like-
kidding. I'm kidding. All right, let's calm down here.
Y'all are
Calm
ridiculous,
down,
man.
Calm down, calm down.
Oh shit.
Just to clarify as well for people listening, George A. Romero is also banned.
Yeah.
He's not a cast member or like a playable character, but he's banned.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna take Ultimus Richtofen.
Okay,
Ultimus Richtofen.
you got back to backs,
Nice.
so
Yes. And then I'm going to take.
as side character, right? Because you already took your main
Yes.
character. Yeah.
No, I
know
didn't
you
take
did.
I didn't. He's a side character too. Give me the Panzer Soldat.
Ooh. Is that
Okay.
going to go into your monster category?
As my monster category.
First monster off the board, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I do have multiple written down because like every variation from each game, I just put them all. But once like the Panzer's taken, the Panzer's off the board. I don't think we
Okay.
do duplicates of that.
That's fine.
No.
That works.
Same for the whatever other monsters are duplicated. But yeah.
That works. Back to Jay.
No, back to you.
Oh, back to me. Yeah. Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God.
There was something you said you had to have.
Yeah, and I'm gonna snag him right now. I'm gonna go with another cast member. I'm taking Weasel.
Weasel.
So,
Okay. I don't know where Wyatt's going with this. I mean, he's taken 2 Mob of the Dead characters, so I feel like maybe there's something there. But
Mhm.
Maybe it's a movie about prison.
um
It's creating
perhaps,
Shawshank Redemption. I don't know.
Which is not a horror movie. It's just
Imagine.
that feel good movie.
Okay.
If I made my movie that, I give
Feel
you
good.
guys
That
full...
movie's sad, bro. Brooks was
Yeah, it's
here.
definitely
It's
not
Yeah, but, he,
so
but he
sad.
gets out and like
He
they.
does, but like at what cost?
But
Did we
does
just
he really
spoil
get
the
out?
movie? Fuck.
Dude, he's been out for so long.
It's making like
Okay,
Green Mile. I don't know.
I'm gonna take
Selfish.
for my monster
Take.
Brutus.
Okay, Brutus off the board.
Brutus. Are we back at me?
Back to you.
All right.
Unfortunately,
Obvious pick. Yeah, because I know you want Nikolai so bad. Is that why you're saying that? Well,
No.
I'm gonna
Are
take
you-
Dark Aether Crew Nikolai as well. That's what I'm gonna do right here.
What?
Jumbo
This
through
is
3
I
picks.
know,
Wow.
cast member.
Only
I got all
has
Nikolai's.
Wow.
Nikolai.
Listen, I can't risk someone else getting the last Nikolai. There's a lot of other stuff on the board that I can make work. And my
Okay.
next pick's coming up.
a
so.
movie with 3 Nikolais. It's basically Nikolai No Way Home. Nikolai
Maybe that's the
drunk on the
plan.
way home.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's the plan.
Okay, Rich. Now you have
Oh,
2.
Shit. I'm going to take Misty as a side character.
Okay.
Misty off the board. Not gonna
And
lie, that
I
was
think-
one of the picks I might have taken on this next.
That
pick.
was one I was also hoping to take, but I thought a lot of people would
luckily, I
not.
think I can get past it.
I wanted it. I wanted her. I think. What if I even fucking pick so far? I picked Misty. I picked my main character.
There's a fucking
as
board for you to look
Matarella.
at.
Yeah, well,
Richie.
I don't want to.
Like-
I'm using my brain. Okay, you should try it sometime.
I clearly do. Like you can't remember the fucking board. Like you pick, like your fucking picks are right there.
For my monster, I'm gonna go with the Avogadro.
Avogadro. I don't know if that
Okay.
was on anybody's big board, but he is gone now. Back to Jumba.
I'm going to go with my map pick. And I'm going to go with Verrucht.
Okay.
We
I thought
figured
that was
Wyatt
going to
and
be
I,
high on
when-
people's boards for a scary movie. It's off the
Yeah.
When
board
we
now. It's big.
thought of this, that was the first map we thought of.
Yeah. I'm surprised I made it this late. So that's why I was gonna go
Okay.
special zombie, but I was like, I think this will be not there later. And the other kind of prison things like that don't have the same vibe as Verrucht still.
I will be taking a cast member. I'm taking Marlton from
Oh,
Victus.
damn. I just lost 2 of my crew right there.
The moment that Misty went, I knew I had to pounce on Marlton.
I think I can still make this work. But because he's gone, I'm not going to panic and try to fill out my cast member.
I
I'm
do
gonna
just want to
pick-
say,
go
while you're
ahead.
thinking, I feel like Marlton is low-key kind of a go-to pick.
Yeah, well, he was
'Cause
going to
there's
be a
only so many
major-
nerds.
Yeah, he was going to
But
be
anyway,
a
go ahead.
major portion of my movie because of his
Yeah.
personality. But I'll
Yeah.
get to that when I explain it. I'm going to go with my monster now. I'm taking the Mangler. You knew I was taking the Mangler. No matter
Classic.
what, I was taking the
mean-
Mangler.
I feel like Wyatt and Jay have a clear idea of their plot and like with the characters they're gonna pick and everything like that. And I have like a general concept of my movie, but I don't think I have a beginning, middle, and end fleshed out fully.
I'm flying by the seat of my ass.
I mean, it sounds like they came up with a bunch of hypotheticals the other day.
We really just
we didn't
came
go
out
that
with the
far.
outline.
We like literally the first thing. Yeah, we came out with the outline, and then Wyatt asked. The reason I talked about the Varuk thing was Wyatt was like, "Do you think that map is like the clear first round option?" And I told him, I was like, I don't feel like it, because I feel like with maps, there's so many maps that you can kind of just pick one. You do have to build your movie around the map, but there's so many maps that and you can only take
You can make
one
it
that
work.
like, yeah, you can make anything really work. And that's why we talked about Varuk, because Varuk's like the insane asylum.
Well, I
type
meant
of
because
thing.
like you even said the thing about like, oh, he's a good pick because he's the only nerd, and it was like, oh, they're thinking about.
I actually
like,
didn't think of that until literally like when Misty got picked, and I was
I
like,
see, I
okay,
see.
because I was already gonna take Marlton, but then I was like, shoot, if Marlton isn't picked for me, there's no replacement for the role. But Marlton, he was also, it's only for the specific movie that I'm doing. If I couldn't pick the map that I wanted, then I was gonna change it.
It does put
I don't-
my my pick in stress there, or my movie in stress.
Kyle.
All right. I'm just gonna say fuck it. My movie's probably not gonna be that good, but it's whatever.
Don't say that ahead of time.
I don't think it's gonna be that good. I'm taking JFK as my main character.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought JFK would get picked so much earlier, and I almost took him in the first round just cause, but
As his main character is crazy though.
JFK, baby.
Because like you can't get around the fact that he's the
JFK
president of the
is
United
the
States.
president.
Like this is a very crucial aspect that is
That's
not
exactly
very flexible.
why for my next pick we're
You gotta take
taking
five,
Okay.
the story.
All right.
So they're having a meeting. Zombie outbreak happens.
Yeah, I've never
Richard
seen it
Nixon's
before.
there. Fidel Castro and McNamara.
I could have got the whole crew. You
He's
never
gonna
know.
have
bro.
to explain why Floyd Campbell and Richtofen show up though. So
I will. I'm going to.
Okay, it's back to me, and this is the only person I think that could even come close to replacing a Marlton. I'm taking Nero Blackstone.
I saw that. As soon as you said that, I was like, Nero Blackstone.
I, for some reason, thought you were gonna pick Russ Man and just say something about Jerome the Bus Bettis.
He's not respected on this show, obviously. Back to Jay.
all right, I'm gonna be taking another cast member. I've got, and I think I'm gonna go with Primus Dempsey.
Okay.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with my monster then. And I can even start giving like some explanation maybe to my movie once I pick the monster, because then I have just one cast member, but my movie seems pretty straightforward almost. I'm just deciding between two. Wait a minute, did I miss something? No one took the amalgam yet, right?
No,
I shouldn't see its picture here. Okay. Oh,
It's
there
all the
it
way
is.
at the
There it is. I
bottom.
see it. Yeah. It just wasn't standing out. Okay, I had two. I'm gonna roll with the amalgam. I'll give my idea for my second one later. I'm gonna go with the amalgam for my monster. And if you guys want to know a little bit of the explanation, clearly what you're thinking is like some sort of multiverse thing where all these guys are there, and I bet you guys are thinking that they're working together. But instead, I want it to be more so that main character's premise Nikolai, and he like it takes the concept, the vibe of the Verrucht map, where like when you're in there, everyone's split up. I want him to like arrive at Verrucht. The other two are split up somewhere in there, testing on the facility. That's why I'm using the amalgamation, because it was a zombie made from being like tested on different human beings and everything like that. So that's where I'm at right now. The other thing that I want to kind of just throw out there, and then after I'll explain more later on, is that I don't want initially the three Nikolais to work together. I actually want it to be
hold on.
more of
Which Nikolai?
I said the Nikolais. I don't want them to work together like
He
in
hasn't
any way.
specified.
Like all three of them. No, I want them to literally be like where it's more of like when you watch horror movies. Think of like that movie. What's that one by Jordan Peele with its Smile, where it's like there's the doppelgangers, which are like evil doppelgangers.
Not
You're
Smile.
talking
That's
about
Us.
Us.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. So that one, right? Where it's like, you know, like they're like evil doppelgangers, and like there's like this tension between the three the entire time, because they're their own good guy in their eyes, but they see the other one as like a violent presence. Anyways, we could go to the next one and we'll explain more later as I continue to flesh this out.
Okay, so I have my back-to-back picks.
Yes.
My next pick, I am taking Primus Richthofen, and for my last pick, I will be taking Ultimus Dempsey.
Solid.
All right, right back to Jumba.
All right, I got it. I'm taking my last cast member, and it's going to be Arthur.
Solid.
AKA Leroy.
Arthur, Leroy.
We've always called him Cletus.
Yeah, Cletus. I almost said Cletus originally.
Okay, back to Jay.
Well, this throws a wrench because I was going to take Arthur.
No.
Damn.
So it's a little tough. So I
Take the witch, bro.
I can pivot here though. The witch just doesn't quite make sense for my movie, unfortunately, where Arthur did. I don't think I can pivot with another monster here, so I think I'm just gonna have to go with a new cast member. And for that, I'm gonna go with Jackie Vincent from Shadows of Evil.
Okay.
This is kind of a last second Hail Mary pivot here, but I can make this work.
So my last one is my map, and I just want to ask the board out here. You don't have to answer, but when you think of Shadows of Evil, are there homes in Shadows of Evil, or it's purely just strictly downtown hustle and bustle?
I will say we are taking the zombified version of it, so
whatever
you're
it is,
they're in a hell dimension.
Okay.
So it's not like a real city, if that makes sense. Like they can't escape this like dimension they're in.
That makes sense. I think
So
then
so there's not going to be like other people there, I guess.
that would have been fine
Just
for my
pick it, bro.
cast.
Which, I mean, if Shadows of Evil still works, then take it. But
Well, there needs to be one.
there's like apartments
pivotal-
that people live in, yeah. Because remember, there's the opening cutscene shows I guess it was like a hotel room, but you know, it shows like Jessica Rose and the dude on the bed in like a room. So there's not like a playable room that we go to, but there would be rooms.
I think I got to do. Now, okay, when you say that it's in this zombified, when we pick this map, is it exactly the same version, or can you say like it's nighttime, or does it have to just be a nighttime map?
I think it's the exact same version.
Let me see if that works for me. I don't think it can work. Even though it's like the perfect city for it, it just wouldn't work.
Because I'll say this, like I was gonna take Liberty Falls, but it's daytime.
That's what I was going to pick right now. That's why I asked. Yeah. So if
why I
that's
didn't
the
take
case, then I'm going Dead of the Night. I'm going to pick Dead of the Night.
Okay.
Damn, Liberty Balls would have been perfect for my setting, though, dude.
Bro, I think we are building very similar movies. So yeah, I thought about taking Liberty Falls, but because it's daytime, I didn't.
Okay, Kyle, your final 2 picks.
Just so you know, by the
Final
way, the
pick.
safe pick, it's just final pick. The safe pick for me was Dead of the Night earlier.
Yeah. Okay.
So the risky pick is Ashes.
I'm taking Jessica Rose as a side character.
Okay.
Okay.
There it
Good
is.
shit.
All right, Kyle. You have your cast. Now you need to explain your movie, break it down for us to the best of your ability. Let's get it.
All right. Let me. Oh, yeah, that was good. Okay. So basically, okay, we know JFK's the El Presidente, all right?
Uh-huh.
He's a
Right.
dog,
Yeah.
okay? What happens is he's running the White House, like regular old day, okay? And, he's got his assistant, Jessica Rose. That's his main lady inside. She's right there, okay? Floyd Campbell, his best buddy since 5th grade, comes by to come see him, okay? They chat it up, they're talking. All of a sudden, the White House gets attacked by giant Panzer soldats, okay?
Okay. All right.
And
We
on
are
the
at-
TV...
We are at the Pentagon, though. Just so we're
Yes. Oh, we're in the Pentagon. Yeah, sorry, we're in the Pentagon,
Okay. Yeah.
not the White House.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what I meant. The Panzer soldiers attack the Pentagon. Okay, they kill everyone. The only people that escape, and they get down to the bottom level, are JFK, Jessica Rose, and Floyd Campbell. On the TV, Rick Toffin shows up. He says, they have been lying to us all this time, and he says that he's going to take over the world using something that they have inside the Pentagon. And so Rick Toffin arrives to the Pentagon. He's searching through, making sure there's no survivors. He's got an army of Panzer soldates that are just walking around looking for everybody. And JFK is trying to save the world from him. And the whole time you just watch people getting slaughtered as JFK tries to save it. But there's a catch at the end. JFK goes to remove the weapon to destroy it before he can get his hands on it. Before Rick Toffin can get his hands on it. Dies doing it.
Oh, no.
Sadness.
Sadness.
That's it. That's all I
That's
got.
the
Do you have a
movie.
name? Do you have a name for the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do-
Black Hawk Down.
Okay, good. That's original. I like it.
Oh.
I like it.
Bro, you could never pay me to watch that fucking movie.
Okay,
That's all I got.
there it is. There's Kyle's pick. Hey, listen, it's hard to make a movie
fuck.
on the spot. Let's
Oh,
give a
no,
quick
it's
round of
hard.
applause to
Good,
Kyle.
good. It feels like
I was not prepared.
It feels like one of those action horror movies where
Yeah.
like you get real like heavy action vibes. Not just
That's
horror
what
the whole
I
time.
watch a lot of action movies, so I
Yeah.
was like, I don't even know how to make a horror movie. I was like, I'm just gonna throw something together.
You ever
That's
watch
what I got.
The Pope's Exorcist? That shit
No.
is straight up Fast and Furious and of the horror movies. Is what it is. Not a bad movie though. I enjoyed it. Just
Vin
like
Diesel's in it. That's sick.
no Vin Diesel, but fucking
For family.
A lot of family.
Yeah. Okay, so I was pick number 2, and I am a gigantic Scream fan. So I was basically just trying to get characters that I felt like I could recreate one of my favorite movies in Scream with that. So I needed a leading lady, which was Scarlett. I was going to pick Sarah Michelle Gellar, obviously, but she's also been in Scream before. So I was like, I wanted her just because she's been in the movie. So I was like, that would be
This is
literally
why
why
she
we
was
said
vetoed.
you can't. Like literally why
Anyway.
we said you can't.
So Scarlett is my main character. She is my Sydney Prescott, if you will. Now, the thing about this movie is because my setting is a little bit off. Originally, I was going to do Liberty Balls, and I was going to be able to make it where it was a bigger city, because in the setting of Scream, a lot of these killings happen in different areas throughout their city, Westboro. But can't do that, obviously. I have Dead of the Night. So instead, I'm going to be doing an accelerated version of Scream, where essentially it was like a regular high school party at the rich kid's house down in the dead of the night area. Gigantic ballroom, but they're not having like a fancy party. It's literally just a college style party with Pabst Blue Ribbon and, you know, beers everywhere, kegs, all that stuff inside the dead of the night area. Scarlett starts out the night, and early on, she's hanging out with her boyfriend, which is Billy Handsome. Now, Billy has had a troubled past, and everybody knows that he's had a troubled past, but she sees through his troubled past. She thinks and she believes that he's better than what he's shown up to this point. So they're together, and although they're not, you know, like the strongest relationship, because they've had to deal with a lot of bullshit throughout their time of dating, him getting in trouble with the law, all that kind of stuff, they go to this party together, and they're trying to mend things up and make it all feel good once again. Now, Billy has his friend Weasel, who gets him into a lot of the situations that he gets himself into, and they're kind of like a tag team. They're a duo. They're always kind of getting in trouble together, and they're a fun time to be around, but they can also be really, really bad. Then I have Nero Blackstone, who is the kind of like, you know, I wanted to go with the Marlton, the nerd, but he is just a weird guy. He likes to do magic. He likes to do magic tricks, and he's been obsessed with Scarlett since they were kids. Since they were little, he's always wanted Scarlett, and he hates that she's with Billy, because to him, it's bullshit that, you know, he's always been the good guy, and he's watched her just go down this path of garbage. They're having this party all night long when all of a sudden the first killing happens inside of this mansion. And early on, they think that they see the Mangler outside of this mansion. So they're like, hey, there's somebody here. Something's going on. We need to figure this out. As the night goes on, more and more killings are happening, and they're pointing it at this Mangler, which was supposed to be kind of like the security guard for this mansion. Obviously, like, it's a rich house. They have home security. But the person who lives in the house is like, hey, I'm going to grease your palm here. Just don't tell my parents that we're having this party here. They think it's him because he's a little creepy. He's a little rough around the edges. He's a big, giant Russian super soldier. And, you know, people are like, what the hell is going on? So they're all going away from this Mangler. Long story short, essentially, my twist in this story is that the Mangler is actually not the monster. It is not the killer. The killer is actually two people, Nero and Weasel. Weasel backstabbing his best friend because he hates that Scarlett is the one that's taking his best friend away from him. She's been trying to pull him away for a long time. He's like, this is bullshit. I want my boy back. And then Nero is obviously jealous because he wants Sydney to himself. They both have a common interest. They both want their one person back. So they team up together. They go out, they kill a bunch of people, they get Sydney and Billy backed into a corner, they reveal themselves, and then the Mangler, my boy, comes and saves the day. He kills both of them, and they get to survive. The Mangler is the hero of this horror movie. And that is my
made
movie.
Scream.
Hey, you even called her Sydney the whole time. You didn't even call her by her character's name.
He made Scream, but like the ending is like the Goonies, where like the monster looking dude like saves the day.
Yeah. To be honest, bro, it sounds like it has a shit script and dialogue. And then I believe that that's going to get maybe about 13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
Certified.
But it'll be a cult classic.
It'll be a cult classic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when they get revealed
for
that
no
it's
good
them,
reason either.
And I feel like my motives for each character was really strong. I feel like each killer had a strong motive. One wanted his boy back, the other wanted the girl. So that's that. And then the Mangler is there to save the day. So shout out the Mangler. Okay.
I definitely lost track of your story, but
all right.
That's just me.
So mine is also a slasher film, but mine is not Scream, okay? So Ashes of the Damned, right? We're thinking Friday the 13th, maybe. There's a lake out there, a cabin, but it's not quite Friday the 13th because it's not like some school kids that are out, you know, at summer camp or whatever. We've got Maya, our main character, and she's there with her partner, Dempsey, right? And, you know, they're going on a vacation, a little getaway out into a cabin at a lake. And they go out there and some mysterious stuff is kind of happening. There's, you know, if you look out at midnight and they think this is initially a dream, there's a weird floating pyramid out there. And, you know, like sometimes they feel like they're being spied on, they're being watched. So, you know, there's this weird kind of guy, this dude out that kind of lives nearby, Marlton, who's just kind of sketchy, and they think that he's kind of doing some weird stuff there, right? So they call the cops. Jackie Vincent, police officer, comes into town, and he's trying to investigate things. He's the local sheriff. And he's trying to investigate what's going on here. He's familiar with Marlton. Marlton's, you know, he's the local weirdo. They're not quite sure what's going on with him. He's just kind of in and around, but he thinks he's harmless. Like, you know, don't mind him. But, you know, we get a lot of reports of this weird stuff with this cabin. So, you know, I'll investigate. He doesn't really investigate. He's a dirty cop. You know, he thinks people are just overreacting with this cabin, right? But weird stuff continues to happen, and that's when our monster, Brutus, aka essentially my Jason, comes into effect and is just absolutely murdering things. And guess what? He finally murders the cop who has been not investigating things, because the cop finally decides, you know what, fine. I'll go investigate the lake over at midnight. People always say weird stuff happens out there. There's been some disappearances, but I don't really investigate because whatever. I'll finally look into it because Maya and Dempsey, you know, they're kind of wealthy. You know, they come from, you know, a military background. I relate to him on that as, you know, the cop in the line of duty. So he's like, I'll go investigate. And that's when Brutus kills the cop. And now our main characters, they're screwed. And they don't know what to do. They're running into the forest, they're being pursued, and they stumble upon this weird farm. And guess what? That's where Marlton lives. And they come to find out that Marlton has actually been performing these weird rituals underneath the farm, where he's been trying to bring back his older brother that died in this weird accident over at the space station, the astronaut thing, over kind of off in the distance, because there's been some crazy stuff happened over there and he's not quite sure, but his brother died. So he's been trying to bring him back. And in his plot to resurrect his brother, he created Brutus. Okay, and now he doesn't know what to do with him. But that's why he's always lurking in the shadows, because he's trying to prevent Brutus from actually killing anybody. But Brutus is bloodthirsty. He's all over the place. He's just a resurrected, zombified version of what was his older brother. So anyway, our crew teams up. They actually have to return to the site. They have to do some weird ritual stuff, obviously at the farm, but then they have to return to the site of his death, being over at the Cosmodrome, and that is where they're actually able to send him up into space and get rid of him once for all on a rocket ship. Also, everybody dies except for Maya. She's the final girl in true horror movie fashion. Dempsey sacrifices himself to save her. Marlton, he actually slams the door shut inside of the rocket with Brutus and sacrifices himself to go up there as well to keep Maya safe. That's my movie.
Okay, there we go. There it is. Okay. All right. Jumba, you are fourth. And yours is probably the most interesting one right now, just because I don't know what it is yet.
You got to cook here. You really got to cook.
So the type of movies I've always found most scary for me are the thriller type ones. Not ones where it's like there's a lot of jump scares or anything like that happening, but there's always like some just like ominous, mysterious unknown, right? And like a lot of times it doesn't even get answered in the movie, right? And that's the point. Like, it's supposed to create a lot of tension about why is some of this stuff going on? Why is it affecting our characters? And like, you might expect jump scares. You might expect for something to happen, but it also might not. So what I want to happen is I want the 3 Nikolais to all four of the characters are going to be in Varrock. It's an insane asylum. And they all wake up basically from unconsciousness, not knowing why they're there, barely knowing who they are, but knowing that at the very least, they've been being tested on in this insane asylum, right? We're going to, at the beginning, mainly, obviously start with Primus Nikolai, who's our main character. And he's just trying to work his way around getting out of the locked room that he is currently in. While our side characters are also doing the same thing, but again, we're focusing on him. As he starts exploring the asylum, he first runs into Arthur, Cletus, Leroy, and obviously spooked, big, tall guy, doesn't really understand everything going on because Leroy is not fully there. But then he realizes that Leroy is actually, he's good. He's got some semblance of a heart of gold. And so he starts using him to help him work together, moving through this insane asylum. And his main goal is to just get the 2 of them out. But he starts to notice that there's something weird going on. There's some sort of weird feeling in there. And this is like some multiversal aspect, just something in the air. And that's when he runs in to the first Nikolai, Dark Ether Nikolai. He sees him, he's got like these veins, he sees him pale. He's from 1984. Instantly, the 2 are at it. They're terrified, they're fighting, they're trying to escape each other, and they do. They don't actually interact in that moment. They get away from each other after a brief tussle. And now they think that there is like an evil doppelganger of one or the other. But realistically, Dark Ether Nikolai is also trying to figure out his way out, trying to understand what's going on, why he's here, and why he's being tested on. And they start hearing like this growling throughout the hallways and everything like that, right? But now, as we follow again Primus Nikolai, he runs into Drunk Nikolai. And that's not a good sign, because while Drunk Nikolai typically funny and everything like that, he is also just completely freaked out and incoherent as well. And now they're going into a tussle and a fight. And so basically, they never work together. They're actually terrified of each other, and every time they see each other, they're trying to full on kill each other. So basically that's happening. And obviously Arthur getting afraid every time he gets hit and everything that he runs to the corner. He doesn't help the fight. So now they're all fighting for their lives, but the growling that's happening, lurking through the shadows, they never see it. It's the amalgam. While it's known to chase and everything like that, in this case, it's just trying to strike them. Like from the shadows, basically use like that long reach that it has with the tongue, pull one of them away, and a couple times it does grab one of them. In fact, in this movie, the only one that is going to live is Arthur. All 3 of our characters are not going to get out. They are going to die to the amalgam by barely even seeing it. They're just going to get fucking pulled, hear the footsteps, hear the growling, and get eaten by the fucking tentacle thing that comes out of its stomach. There. The last thing that I want to kind of throw out here, though, is that I want it to very much be a movie where the characters feel isolated. Like every time you have them, the majority of the movie, they're on their own, except for Primus, Nikolai. I'm getting struck with which Nikolai's, and Arthur. I want it to be like almost the vibe of like if you've ever seen that Ryan Reynolds movie where he's buried underground and it's just like very close up camera work on him the whole time. I want you to feel alone. Like I don't want there to be a lot of other casts and things happening and like extra like people on the outside. I don't want them to find any other scientists. I want them to go around and see what's happening, but the entire asylum is empty except for the 4 of them and like whatever this mysterious omnipresence is. And so that's how I want it to be. I want it to just feel like a ton of tension the entire time.
I like that.
Do you have a name for it?
Nikolai.
That's great. That's actually a good one. I didn't have one until you guys said that. That is great.
By the way, the reason I wanted Arthur is because he was going to be the version of Brutus. I figured, that was the big brother. Yeah,
but he's like in mine. He's like the only. He's like the one who's the heart of gold. Like, I haven't even decided like if he escapes fully. Like, but like because some horror movies they don't end with a good ending, right? Like maybe he does get out here, but then he's still like alone and he's isolated and he doesn't even know where to go after, right? Like they could be that Primus Nikolai gets him to the door and he finally gets out. But again, like there's a sequel coming about why Arthur has to figure out this multiversal aspect, and there was 3 Nikolai doppelgangers in one asylum.
I love it. I love the one twist I thought of while you were explaining it is like, what if you saw two different versions of yourself, but for whatever reason you just couldn't speak? Like none of you could speak. That'd be crazy scary, and like trying to figure out how to get out.
I thought which obviously, you can still do this, but I thought the beginning of the movie was going to be that they don't realize that there's actually multiple. They think they're like going delusional, so they think like they're seeing themselves, and it's like visions and shit. And then it turns out like, oh my god, wait, they actually are like all there,
I guess, well, that's how I wanted it to be, and I'm not literally just saying that because you said it. Like that was the thing. Like when I say like when they're like fighting and they're tussling and everything like that. Like the thing is, when I'm saying they're freaked out, it's because they think it's them, but they also know something's different because like it's a different version. One's like super drunk, one's got like the veins and everything, like and the vice versa for them. So it's like they think it's themselves because they obviously look alike, but they're not understanding the differences of like each one. And so so that's was meant to be the aspect of it, right? And why they think that they're doppelgangers and not just like another version from a different timeline.
Yeah.
Okay, Rich.
Richie.
All right. So I got the fucking worst pick of all, which was 5th. I think I actually have kind of a solid idea after hearing everybody.
Honestly,
and seeing
though,
what you guys...
This draft, I feel like there's not really a bad pick. It's just how creative can you be,
I just know that everybody that votes, or if I should say most people that vote, they're just going to see the cast or, like the picks, and they're just going to vote. They're not really going to listen to our reasoning.
Well, maybe...
So if you do listen to the reasoning and you vote...
I don't put the poll up until a day after the episode comes out because of that. So.
I was also thinking if we wanted, like, if we can sum up just the general points of our movie in like 2 sentences, we could try to like also put that in like the post that Jay makes if people want to read it. If that helps. Everyone has to just do it
if everybody wants to write their own, then I can throw it on there.
Yeah, everyone just write like a
basically
2-sentence.
like writing on the back of a movie case, basically.
Pretty much.
Synopsis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, Rich.
Okay, so first off, since I picked Misty as a side character, the answer is yes. You will see boobs in my movie. I'm just gonna fucking
He's trying to earn votes off of that.
Yeah, true American hero right there.
I'm just saying
his synopsis is a killer trying to kill Misty while her tits are out in the shower.
To be fair, a lot of horror movies are just nude
No, they got
fest.
nudity. Should
Should
I put Nikolai cock?
You got 3 of them to work with.
Anyways, go ahead.
Trace Cox.
Go ahead.
They're all just measuring.
And they're all different.
Okay, so the premise of my movie is my main character, Madame Morella. She's an explorer. It's kind of like, think of like National Treasure Nicolas Cage type of explorer, okay? Well, she's going to Shangri-La, this place that's outside of the Himalayas, okay? Well, she recruits a scientist. She says, hey, there's some rare earth mineral there, and I want you to come with me on this quest to go take a look and see what it actually is. Well, she needs some help. So she needs perhaps an investor, and that's going to be somebody providing money. That's going to be Dempsey. Dempsey is the investor and the smooth guy behind all of this.
He's got a lot of money from his military contracts.
Well, we'll just say he was PMC. He was private military contractor. He made bank. All right. He stole from a lot of people, has some blood diamonds. I don't know. We'll throw that out there. But then Misty, she's just a small town girl living in a lonely world.
Okay.
And she's going to be the helping hand, basically. She's going to be working as well as Dempsey with her to provide whatever assistance they need for this mining operation, the know-how of all the machinery, things like that. She comes from a farm, right? So she knows heavy machinery, how it works. She's just the technical operator. Well, what ends up happening in this movie is, if you guys didn't know, Madame Morella is a bit of a con artist. Well, she knows that there's element 115 that's buried in those mine shafts. But Richtofen, being the dumb scientist that he is, has no idea. So he's going to be the first to die. Because buried deep down in the mine shafts with that element 115 is a shape-shifting Avogadro. So that's going to be my monster, and he's introduced. And the Avogadro basically slowly works on each cast member, essentially taking out Richtofen as a scientist. Well, he's also going to shapeshift into Richtofen when he needs to, when it's convenient, when he has to, because the Avogadro is trying to protect the element 115, because he is not a regular human being. He is otherworldly. Well, Dempsey goes next. He was Madame Morella's love interest. You see her boobs too.
Dude, hell yeah.
I'm giving you what you guys want. He dies. And then the little twist here is that
You see his
Madame
boobs
Morella.
too.
you see the Avogadro shapeshift into Misty, and you see them both.
Yeah.
Oh, but so the little twist here is that Dempsey, or no, sorry, because Dempsey, he dies, but Misty finds out that Madame Morella is a con artist. She knew what was there all along, and she was trying to take it for herself. So now it becomes a little bit of a race to see who can get out of Shangri-La the fastest and actually survive. Well, Madame Morella ends up dying to the Avogadro, and Misty, the side character, actually kills the Avogadro, and she lives on. And we don't know if there's going to be a sequel, but I think after the fans see this movie, there's going to be a sequel.
Well, if there's boobs left on this planet, I'm sure we can
Misty
make a
kills
sequel.
the Avogadro with her boobs.
It's possible.
There it is.
I've seen it happen.
There it is. Okay, well, ladies and gents, those are all of the movies. And if you guys are wondering, where can I vote on this? Where can I vote on this? Well, you just click down below in the description, and you can join the Discord, and you can go vote for yourself. We release the poll one day after the episode is out, so you can go, obviously have time to listen to the episode. Make your choice wisely. It'll be up there and ready to go for you to pick who you think has the best movie and who you think is the ultimate winner. All the votes will be counted up, and we'll bring it up on the next show. Ladies and gents, that should just about do it for the draft. We're going to throw it on down to the voicemails and then send you guys on the rest of your week. Let's get it. All right, ladies and gents, let's round it out with the voicemails here. First one comes from I sound angry, but it's for show. That's what he says. That's the
Oh,
title.
okay. Well, I'm
For
glad.
showly,
I'm
bro.
glad
Like,
he's for show.
For the show,
Okay.
or
Like, it's like for
sure
show.
as a pawn.
Like, yeah.
I know. So I'm kidding.
Hold on, I got to...
Come on, Canada.
This happens to me every single time. There we go.
Oh,
I mean,
By the way,
listen,
while he's
with
figuring that
all due
out-
respect, because I love you guys and I listen to you guys no matter what, and I know you don't give a shit whether or not I listen to you.
That's not
We
true.
care.
We do.
What the hell are these old head fucking thoughts?
What?
Black Ops 4 being as good as Black Ops 3 or 2? Black Ops 3 being better than Black Ops 2?
I don't think we ever said that.
What?
We didn't say Black Ops
Wait.
4.
We have, yeah, no.
I just,
Yeah.
Black Ops 3 is better.
I can't.
Straight.
I can't. My arms are shaking. My hand. Black Ops 4 is hot garbage, and the only reason you guys are even remotely interested in this game right now is because Black Ops 6 was even worse.
Fair.
There's no
Fair.
way Black Ops 4 follows up Black Ops 3. It's all a fucking... Black Ops 4 was a money grab. It's all fucking rinse, wash, repeat. Old maps that we've already fucking played that they were just like, yo, we're going to add some extra rooms. It's what you're complaining about that you hope doesn't happen in Black Ops 7.
Okay, so
He's not wrong.
okay. First of all, the one thing I will disagree with there is that I do think Black Ops 3 is better than Black Ops 4. I don't think
Yeah,
we ever said.
I don't remember even.
No one, not a
saying-
single person said BO4
Yeah.
was better.
I
Yeah.
think
No.
the main takes that we said was BO4, I think, aged better, and we could
Yeah.
understand why people didn't like it when it came out. And most of our opinions, because like me, I haven't played any of the other maps, was just focused around 9, and we said we'd come back to this whole conversation after we were done. But I'm pretty sure we talked about the fact that, and we've talked about it in other episodes at the very least, that we don't like the idea that they just rehash maps.
No,
Yeah,
we've literally mentioned that if it was just the Chaos storyline,
Yeah.
we would have liked that better.
I think
Yeah.
that was my main point. I was like, I think Black Ops 4 would have been well received if it was just Chaos the entire game instead of
Wyatt hates
the other
Blood of
maps.
the Dead. He
I
fucking
despise
hates
it.
that map.
Bro,
And
all,
this one,
all
I
of
put
them,
a lot of
like,
time into that map too. I just hate it.
genuinely, the only one that I think was actually interesting was Alpha Omega, because Nuketown is so small
Yeah.
that expanding that was interesting.
Average.
But also, I have played it. I've never done the Easter egg. The experience blows because, like, to turn on the power, you have to, like, it's kind of like Origins where it gets turned off, but it gets turned off a lot, and you have to remove this, like, goo from the air vents. And there's just a lot of, like, bad things when you actually play it. So, listen, those were our takes after the first Easter egg we've done, and we said we'd fully revisit it.
The
but
most
also,
we said is we'd put 9, maybe. Some of us said maybe 9 in the top 10. I didn't say that. I think Jay did.
I'm
Wyatt
the
said
only
he's
one
not
that
sure.
said it. I'm
Yeah.
the only one that said I
Which
would
top 10
100%
doesn't
do
mean
it. But
it's
that
better
was
than other games.
Mhm.
And also, mind you, that was also only looking back on our previous list, which I haven't gone back and reworked. So I literally said the line of, if Verrucht was in my top 10 back then, which Verrucht's probably going to move down quite a bit based on a lot of the maps that we're going to play. But if Verrucht was in my top 10 at that point, then 9 is in my top 10.
Yeah.
So
Also, I
Yeah.
think I came, at least I'm just speaking for myself. I came from a place where when I replayed Black Ops 4, it made the connection I was making is this is the perfect bridge between new zombies and old zombies. Not that that's something I would want to play forever, because I still value old zombies better. I would much rather have
Yes.
BO1, BO2, BO3. But I was just saying it was the bridge because it still has a lot of the features that we like while mixing in some of the newer features that the newer zombies fans like. Overall, I would much rather just have a BO3 or a BO2 experience. But I also think it did age really well, and I would much rather play BO4 than Cold War or BO6 is essentially where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that, like, I don't agree with the take that the only reason we like it is because there was something worse. Like, I think that the reaction at the time was only as bad as it was because we were coming directly off of Black Ops 3. Like, when you come off of literally the GOAT of zombies games, and then you follow that up with, which also in terms of just, like, popularity with content, YouTubers, like, that was the peak. And then you go to BO4, I think there was a much more visceral reaction because of that. And I also think, like, for example, Cold War got some major props when it came out for no reason.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that, like, it was very different. And now people, I think, look back on it like it aged poorly. But I think when we said that BO4 has aged well, that's us playing it in modern day with the full understanding of, like, we know that our opinions are influenced by the fact that certain games have come out that are worse. Like, we said that. We said that
Yeah.
modern zombies has jaded us. And so going back to BO4, where it's not, like Wyatt said, it's sort of a bridge. So it's not fully modern, but it's also not fully old, is refreshing. But like Wyatt said, I would much rather take BO1, 2, or 3 over BO4 any day of the week.
Yeah.
It's
Also-
just, BO4 is still good, though. Like, I've enjoyed it so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead, Jumbo.
I was just going to say real quick, my only take on, like, those rehash maps, which we'll talk about more, that I don't even think I said this on the pod, is that it's the one game I kind of understand because PC gaming wasn't very, like, popularized by that time yet. Like, now I feel like it is the majority of what people do. Like, it's really gained market share. And then all those maps that they recreated were on previous gen consoles, and you couldn't play them on new gen consoles. So it was the first time you were getting those experience on new gen consoles.
Yeah.
So
Which is a
that's
big
the only
thing.
reason. Yeah, that's the only reason I sort of understood it. Like, if you didn't want to go back to play, like, your Xbox 360 or PS3, you could play Mob of the Dead for the first time with, like, a higher frame rate. But
Yeah.
I think now, if they were to do that, it frustrates me a lot more because it's like, well, I could just go download Black Ops 2 or buy Black Ops 2 and play the games, like, well. So
Yeah.
Also, like on those maps though, like let's not sit here and act like they didn't make 4 original like chaos maps.
Really good
Yeah.
ones.
Like
too.
think about almost every other
Solid.
game. Like every other game is like BO3 released what 5 original maps?
yeah,
It released Shadows, Dryzen Drax, Zetsubo, Garad, Krovi, and Revelations. And
Yeah.
Revelations isn't
And
even really
Revelations,
fully
I don't even
original.
really, yeah.
So it's like that one, in terms of just true, straight up originals, only released 4 as well. So it's like,
and
yeah,
how do you look
I
at
don't
Zombies
love-
Chronicles, right? Like, because if we look at Zombies Chronicles as remasters and then just look at those 4 as technically remakes, you can kind of like get around like in that sense where it's like where you got your 4 new maps and then those are just like trying to be what Zombie Chronicles was. It didn't
Yeah.
live up, it didn't do a good job, but that's what it almost felt like. Kind of.
Like, I fully agree that those maps, when we play them, are probably like, we're not going to enjoy those. We're going to come out of BO4 and be like, man, like, I just wish they just didn't do those. But I don't agree with the take that BO4 was a money-hungry grab.
Yeah.
Because that's the most zombies maps that have ever come out. They had 4 on release for free. I don't think you had to pay anything extra. Meanwhile, like on BO2, bro, to get Nuketown, you had to pay for the DLC.
I
Did you
think
to
really?
get
I didn't even
those.
I
remember
think
that.
where
Maybe
he's
there was a
coming
season
from-
pass on BO4, but
Yeah.
but
Well,
like also Blackout was in BO4 and Blackout was like universally agreed as goated.
Yeah.
The multiplayer was
Mhm.
pretty good. I do not agree that BO4 was like a money grab. I
Well,
thought they put a
so-
shitload of content in BO4.
They did. And the one thing I can say for like his argument is that I remember when like cuz me and Kyle were pretty upset when Black Ops 4 came out because we felt the same as him. But then what we didn't do is we didn't give the Chaos storyline the time that it deserved because we were already pissed off about the maps that had already come out. And the other thing you could say is like the 5 that classified the Easter egg being, hey, let's just make him get to round 150 and then it's just going to
Was
be
very
a
lazy.
bullshit cutscene. It was like super lazy. So I could see where he's coming from, where it's like it feels like a money grab. But once again, if you just take those chaos maps and you just had it as that being the game, I think we look back on it like much differently. And Jumbo's point with like the PC gaming, it's almost like each half of this game, one is looked at and aged really well, chaos storyline. The other aged really poorly because PC gaming became much more accessible to play these maps. And so those ones look even worse now than they did at the time because
yeah,
you
like
can
if
just
I'm
go
gonna
back
play
and
Mob,
play
I'm
'em.
gonna go play Mob. I'm not gonna play
Yeah.
Barrick,
Yeah.
basically.
So
Yeah.
no, yeah. I mean, I
Or-
understand the frustration, but
Well,
also he said
but
in that
he-
voicemail, he said BO2 is better than BO3. I've given BO2 a ton of time, and I would say it's a lot closer than I remember it being, but you still got to give it to BO3, bro. Like Zombie Chronicles
But-
alone, you know?
Also, hold on, I'm confused because he said, what are these old ass takes? Like old head ass takes. The old heads didn't like BO4.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's the modern fans that like BO4. The old heads are the one that would say BO2 is better than BO3 because they didn't like Shadows of Evil when it came out.
So he's
'Cause I
giving
remember
the
that-
old
That's me.
takes.
That
That's me.
was when I
That
was
is the
playing the
old
game.
take, yeah.
When
Yeah.
Shadows of Evil came out, I did not like it. I didn't give it a fair chance until way later.
Yeah.
And I didn't even fully like love it that much until we all played it. And so like that is you're the old
He's
head.
the
What do you
he
mean?
has the old head takes. By the way, too,
Yeah.
the thing I love about BO4, and I'm pretty sure we mentioned it, we don't have to go too deep into it, but it's still difficult. Like it's still
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
difficult game compared to BO6 and Cold War. Like those
Yeah.
ones with all the mantling and shit, not as hard. BO4 is still really difficult with the way that you can just get slapped the fuck around in that game. So
Yeah.
perfect.
And a
bridge.
reminder, this just isn't our full opinions yet. We said
Yeah,
we'll
we still
revisit
got
it
a
when we
lot
play all the
left.
maps.
Yeah, we
we've
still got a
literally
lot
only
left.
played 9. That's
Lot
the
of
only Easter
football
egg
A lot
left.
of game left.
A lot of football left. Next one. It says, if you skipped this, I wouldn't be upset.
Well, we're
bad.
gonna listen
We're
to
listening
it.
to it.
Black Ops 3 was garbage and Brian was right.
What?
If you ask me, in my opinion,
This is the man that called me the Brian of Packapod. You're the Brian of Packapod, buddy.
Poke some bears. Advanced Warfare is better than Black Ops 3 and 4.
No, my.
Straight up.
Whoa, is this the
100%.
same guy from the last
I actively
voicemail?
avoid
Yeah,
Black
yeah,
Ops
this-
Oh, so
3.
I think
Why
he's
would I
just
play
taking the
Origins on
piss
Black
right now.
Ops 3 when I can play it on
He's
Black
rage baiting.
Ops
He's
2?
pulling
Yeah.
a Brian.
Why would I
He is
play
the
anything
Brian of
on Black
Packapod.
Ops 3?
He's rage
You
baiting.
can
That's
stop
right.
this
And the
voicemail
voicemail.
anytime you
And
want.
the voicemail.
I'm stopping it now.
I-
I'm
Stop
stopping
it.
it
Stop
now.
it.
I'm stopping it now.
That was straight rage bait. Truly.
That
If
was
you-
straight rage bait.
if you actually think that Advanced Warfare is better than BO3, and I think all the Advanced Warfare glazers out there would disagree with
No,
that.
he's rage baiting.
So
Don't give it
there's-
to him. Don't give it to him.
there's
He's
rage
rage
baiting.
baiting.
No,
I
that's what I'm
like
saying. It
Advanced
has to be
Warfare.
rage
It is
baiting.
not better than
Yeah,
Black
I
Ops.
like
No,
Advanced
it is
Warfare.
not.
The
Rage
second
baiting.
he said that, I was like, what are we doing here? Like,
He's rage
Let's
baiting.
just go to the next.
Just-
Let's go to
That's crazy.
the
we're just skipping it.
let's go to the next
We're
one.
just
When did
skipping
Advanced
it.
Warfare
Skipping it.
come
Didn't
out, by the
happen.
way? Did it come out
2016?
before? Was it before or after BO3?
After for sure.
After.
Dude, it
Because
was
I
like
was-
Oh, yeah.
BO3.
No, Advanced Warfare came out
If-
2014.
If you
What?
find and I'll,
Was it?
Oh yeah, but that's still
Yeah.
after. That's still after BO3.
No,
Senior
BO3 was 2015.
No, that's right. That's right. Because Advanced Warfare was the first one to
'Cause
do
remember,
jetpacks, and then
they were
BO3
doing- yeah.
changed the jetpack movement a little bit and added wall running. And everyone says it was the better one.
And
And then they
then-
got rid of them completely and Ghost came
Yeah.
out.
And then I
By
think
the
they-
way-
no, didn't they go to Infinite Warfare after that, or was that
Infinite
before
Warfare
too? Yeah,
was
Infinite Warfare was
after-
2016. Yeah,
yeah,
that was the
yeah.
whole jetpack
And
era.
then-
Advanced Warfare
And
started.
then we had Ghosts,
so
right?
this guy is the definition of old head because he likes the game that came
Yeah.
out before BO3. Anything
Infinite
before
Warfare
BO3,
had,
he loves
had
it.
jetpacks too.
Multiplayer, not zombies.
yeah,
Yeah. That's
Infinite Warfare didn't even have zombies.
yes,
Did
it
it?
did.
Yeah, it did. It
Oh.
did.
Yes.
It
Yeah, it
did.
did.
Oh,
That was the
okay,
one that
yeah,
me and
that's
Wyatt
the
were
one with
arguing about.
Zombies,
Zombies,
yeah,
Zombies
that's
in
one
Yeah.
Space.
Zombieland and Raven
Zombies,
the Red
Spaceland,
Bloods.
yeah.
Come on,
So,
Jumba.
one last
Yeah, for
thing,
that one.
and I only bring this up not to feed into the rage bait, but because it's an observation I've made just being out in public talking about zombies. There is a mass contingent of dudes who stopped playing after BO2, probably played Shadows of Evil a handful of times, and then never really played the rest of the BO3 maps that say BO3 was when zombies died. I need you to scrounge up whatever money you can, go find, whether it's on your PC or you buy an old console, whatever, you need to replay those maps because that is the peak of what zombies was forever meant to be. Those maps, minus maybe Revelations, but even then, at least you have a sandbox where you can get all the wonder weapons, which is kind of fun. That
Kind of sick.
that game with Zombie Chronicles attached to it, you will never get bored. You will literally never get bored. There's a million options you can play without the gobblegums. Like people bring up gobblegums like we bring up the armor system, but there's a huge difference. You can't play
You
not using
have
the
to
armor
use
system.
armor.
You have to use it. And it's the same thing Richie said about the ammo boxes. It's like, well, just don't use them. You can't based on the systems in
They don't ever
BO6.
spawn
Yeah.
max ammos, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
You know
what are
Max
how
you gonna
often
do?
I
never come
forget
into the
about
game.
fucking gobblegums? I always forget about gobblegums.
I
Any
I
game I
rarely
play.
ever
about
use them.
gobblegums
Yeah,
ever.
because
You
I'm
don't
like
have to use
because
them.
like I'm too coded in like Black Ops 3 when I was playing on my console, and that shit costs money to like roll. Like you'd get liquid
Yeah,
Lavinia
so you
sometimes,
never wanted to
but like
spend them?
yeah, like so like I'd get like a freaking perkaholic. I don't think I ever fucking used it because like I didn't want to use
No.
it.
Bro, back in the day, I'm pretty sure if I loaded up my console account on BO3, I would still have Perkaholics sitting there because I was too scared to ever use it
Yeah.
and die.
100%.
The same.
Exactly.
100%. But yeah, you
I don't
didn't
know
have
what
to
I would have been
use
saving them for, but
you didn't have to use those systems. Like, and then when you go and you play the Chronicles version, they have the systems in there. Don't have to use them. Honestly, I feel like that's why Nocturne and Totem was so high on my original list because I love the BO3 version of Noct where I actually have a chance to get some perks. So it's like, you know, it's totally up to you. But BO3, anytime somebody tells me that, I always tell them the same thing. You just did not give it a fair chance because I was one of the advocates of being like, I don't know about this. It's
I will
just
also
the
say,
peak.
I think that you have to like learn the Easter eggs and do that. That adds a lot to the game, especially because like that just teaches you how to set up, even if you don't do the full Easter egg. And I also didn't like Shadows when it originally came out because I didn't want to learn the setup.
The other
Right,
thing,
so-
Even
go ahead, Kyle.
even then though, like I'm gonna be honest, like even just being a high rounder guy like I used to be, and then like just loving wonder weapons, BO3 has some of the best wonder weapons.
Bro.
And so it's like it also has like really great themes for all of their maps, very original themes. Like I just think BO3 is like max peak for like zombies in general. And then like BO2 is great and they have a lot of original
close
stuff
for
too,
me.
and that's why
It's-
we love those.
It's real
Yeah,
close for me.
but like still I think BO3 is peak and BO2 is like right there. You know what I mean? So like that's why I think it falls off heavy after BO3.
People
So that's my opinion.
people who hate on BO3 too always try to say, well, it's actually not as hard as people say it is. I'm like, yeah, we're not, when we say we like BO3, we're not saying that it's the hardest one. Like, we're just saying
No,
it's
'cause
the
then
most
we would just go play
enjoyable.
World at War.
Yeah,
like being
World at
hard
War.
doesn't
doesn't
necessarily
correlate.
mean it's good. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, my
Exactly.
point is that like I've had significant amount of moments in BO6 where I get slapped like 14, 15 times, trapped in a corner, and I find my way out, and I just go,
Yeah.
I shouldn't live that. Where it's like Black Ops 3, yeah, like high rounding's pretty easy once you get the freaking double pack, and if you just get into a training spot. But like if you get like hit too many times, you're trapped in a corner, you're dying still.
Yeah.
You're probably dying.
Yeah,
So-
100%. Okay, last one comes from Pineapple. Our boy Pineapple. He's a GMB listener.
All right, what's up, boys? It's Pineapple. I have a
What's up,
question.
dog?
So, I've been playing a lot of DVDs lately. You don't know what that is. Dead by Daylight.
He's
You know
on the
what I would
job
like to
site.
see? What if we got a Springtrap or a Freddy themed suit in Apex or in COD for zombies? Or what if we had like the Springtrap zombies for like special zombies? Imagine, what would y'all think about that?
Did you just say one moment? Some guy was
That
trying to
would've
get,
been-
get back to work. He's
Can
it's a
someone-
voicemail.
Can someone try to explain a little bit of what he said?
I
Yeah,
have
I'm
no, I could not
confused.
hear what the fuck he said.
Springtrap zombie, I
Springtrap
I heard
think.
zombie.
spring trap. I don't know what that means.
I'm gonna be
I'm
honest.
Like the
Pineapple
trample
was
steam or
hard
what?
for me to figure out exactly what you were saying. I think
And I was hoping Wyatt might be able to hear it better. Like
no, I
'cause-
couldn't. I think what he meant was like, you know how when you play Nocturne and Toten and you see him come out of the wall, maybe he's saying maybe there's like a spring trap that they come out of on the floor or something. I don't know.
You talking about like the trample steam?
He wants to bring back the trample steam.
I don't know.
didn't say
That-
trample
He said Steam Trap Zombie. That's all I heard,
Springtrap
and I don't
Zombie.
fucking know what that means.
Oh my god, he wants Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, what's that guy like? Fucking
Oh, he
Springtrap
was
or
the
something.
dude. He did send in the Five Nights
No,
at
he
Freddy's
was the Five
voicemail
Nights
this
at
week
Freddy
on
guy.
GMB. What?
Oh,
What's?
did he? I was
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, he did. No, I'm dead serious. What does
Is-
that have to do with?
Is Springtrap a
I've
name
never
No,
of
played
one
there's
the
of the
game.
it's
characters?
It's something trap. But I don't know if it's Springtrap.
Oh, hold on. Let me look it up. Hold on.
yeah,
I've never
fucking
played
look
the
it
game
up,
before,
Kyle.
so I don't know like the lore of that.
Hold on.
I
I'm
don't
sending
fucking
y'all.
know.
Y'all can listen to the message if y'all want real fast.
Oh,
'cause I need
there
to
is
re-listen to
there
this.
is a fucking there's a character called Springtrap in Five Nights at Freddy's. I was kidding.
Man, they have
Hold
hella
on.
characters.
I'm listening to it now. He's talking about Dead by Daylight. That's the first thing he brings up. DBD.
Oh, Dead by Daylight.
Yeah,
Oh,
and it's
Springtrap
fucking the
from-
Five Nights at Freddy's character.
It is the Five Nights at Freddy character, though.
Do I need to play this game? I mean, he sent in like 3 voicemails about this. I think I need.
Have you ever
Do you know
played
how many
Dead by
fuck-
Daylight?
Wait, no. Are you
No,
talking about
I
Dead by
haven't.
Daylight or Five Nights at Freddy's you need to play?
I've played neither.
Well, Five Nights at Freddy's, there's a lot of games.
There's a fuckload of games. Dead by Daylight, I've tried playing it. It's just not for me.
I don't know anything about Springtrap, like this character. Like, is there a unique thing about them?
Pineapple, what we're gonna need you to do, because you came at us with a lot of like acronyms. You came at us with a lot of buzzsaws. What I need you to do is I need you to explain your idea like we are 5, and also maybe do it on your lunch break in the truck. And then,
I was
Yeah.
gonna
Tell us
say,
what you
were doing for
don't,
work.
Don't do this at work.
And then
Yeah,
also
yeah,
tell
what were
us
you
I
guys-
assume he's at a
what were you
construction
cutting in the
site
back?
or something.
it sounded
Also,
like
yeah.
I also need to know if you got in trouble sending us a voicemail on the job site, because it sounded like somebody was like, "Hey, get back to work" in the background. I could
And
be
you
mistaken.
said one moment. Who were you telling one
You
moment to?
said
Was it
one
your
moment.
boss?
He said he told his boss.
Was
he's
it
like,
your
one
boss?
moment.
I'm sending a voicemail into Pack-a-Pod. Hold on.
He's like, "Oh yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, so I'm gonna need you to resend that. I need you to flesh out this idea for us, because I want to understand what you were trying to convey. I just couldn't get it in that moment. So there's that. But that's it, boys. Those are all the voicemails here. What a batch of voicemails we got today.
Dude, it was the one guy just fucking throwing heat
Dude,
at
He's
us.
pissed.
I just
He's
want to
pissed
say
off.
that guy sending those voicemails in though makes me feel so much better because he's the one who called me the Brian of Packapod, and that really bruised my ego for a little bit there. 'Cause that's like one of the biggest insults I've ever
I
received
think
in my entire life. So the actual Brian of Packapod telling me I'm the Brian is like, oh, I get your game now. You're
I
trying to
think
rage
he
bait me,
might
buddy.
just be a different, like another Brian. Like I think him and Brian might be cut
He
from the
might
same
be a
cloth.
Brian Glazer.
Maybe.
Or maybe he's
Fuck.
just a.
Is
he's
he
just another
employed
one.
by Brian to just give us a hard time here?
I
Listen,
wouldn't
Brian
Brian,
actually
Brian.
pays him. Fucking.
no one's ever
Plot
going to
twist, it
see
is
your
Brian.
face on this show. They're only going to hear about you.
It's crazy how many times we've talked about him. It's truly like
He's
you
gonna
can't
send
avoid it.
another voicemail next week. You guys
Yeah.
know this, right?
Yeah,
No,
he's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
send.
Oh
some.
yeah.
No, he 100% will. And we
he's
want
like,
it.
you could be pissed. I'm gonna listen to you guys regardless. He's like, you don't even. What did he say? He's like, you don't even want me listening
You
to this show.
know, I didn't even finish the voicemail. There's another minute to that voicemail.
No,
Like,
the
it was-
first.
Oh yeah, no,
the
that's
first
okay.
one
We
though.
had to edit
The
that.
first one though, he said something like, "You probably don't even care if I listen to the show. We still care."
Yeah,
We
still
do care.
We do
I don't
care.
care
We-
if you
we do
disagree
care.
with me.
Listen, even with Brian, as much as we all joke about Brian, like we all love Brian. So,
Yeah.
you know,
100%.
he just has
That's
bad
debatable,
takes. You can
but-
have bad takes too.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh man. Okay, well, ladies and gents, that should just about do it for this week's episode of Pack a Pod. Boys and girls, we're oh so close to another installment of our favorite franchise, of our favorite storyline. We'll see how it plays out. We've got a lot to be ready for. They're already releasing DLC 1. Their backs against the wall. Do they find a way to make it out of this alive with all these other games coming out and everything popping off right now? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm excited to see what happens in BO7. Ladies and gents, don't forget you can join the Discord and the links down below, as well as it helps us out big time if you leave a review on your way out. And even if you would like, leave a comment. We can respond to it. We found out how to do that, so we've been doing that recently. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, we'll catch you guys next week for another edition of Pack a Pod. See ya.
Later.